This is going to be short and sweet to the point. My uncles served. My two sisters right now are serving. My grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, and my great-great-grandfather, they all served on both sides of my mom's side and my dad's side. My husband served. His daddy served. His uncle served. But that's neither here nor there. I'm surrounded by military people. And I've been seeing a lot of y'all military people protecting these Democrats. I think y'all should stop protecting these Democrats. Or maybe because of higher ups that you get your orders from is involved in the nasty behavior that they got going on, because we can't seem to forget about that. What was he? Sergeant, Colonel, whatever he was. That man was caught in the act of meeting up with a child and then took himself out. So we know that a lot of these higher ups that is giving y'all orders are nasty people. And for y'all to turn on your own people as military people, because y'all were standing outside of a hotel building protecting immigrants. Why are y'all there? Why y'all haven't went to Denver, Colorado to protect them, the people of America? Now, I want to let y'all know the people that you're protecting and how much they care about you, military and people. 70% of the homeless population is veterans. That sound like they care about you? So basically, you can go over there and fight their wars. But when you come over here, come back, they forget about you. They have nothing in place for you to transition to civilian life. They don't have no jobs. They don't have no funding. They don't have no housing. They literally done with you. They throw y'all away. These are the people that you're protecting, the Democrats. They literally throw you away. I don't got to tell you. Go look it up. 70% of the homeless population is war veterans and military and people. Do that sound like they care about you? These are the people that you're protecting. I'm feeling like we're going to have to fight our own people, and I hate that. I hate that they have warped a lot of you military minds to making you believe that America loves you. They care about you, and they so proud of you, and they proud of your work. They so proud of you, and they proud of your work. Why they don't have anything for y'all? What? 10% off? Military discount? That's what they give y'all. Do you know what 10% off? That ain't nothing. And then they get mad when they have to give it to you. I think it's about time for y'all to stop fighting in their wars. I think y'all need to let us eat them alive. Step out the way. I think y'all should step out the way. Y'all trying to protect people that wouldn't even protect you. They don't protect y'all. Y'all are out in the street in the elements. There's homeless veterans with no legs, no housing, no funding. And then when they go there, they look at you crazy like, well, why you want anything? Well, damn, I did fight for this country. I did take, a couple of shots. Legs is gone. I can't help myself. But here we have immigrants from a whole nother country coming here getting the benefits that y'all should have. How does that make you feel? To see people living their best lives while y'all are on the streets fighting for your lives. So you got to go over there and fight and then come here to your own country and fight. The only way that y'all can get back right with God, because y'all have done some unspeakable things, and you have, military and people, yes you have. The only way that y'all can get back right with God, and God going to make sure that he protect y'all and make sure that you get all of the good things that you deserve, is for you to stop protecting the very same people that wouldn't even protect you. They sure wouldn't. And y'all going to have to not vote for them anymore. I'm telling you, that's the only way that you're going to get back right with God. Why would you want to vote for the very same people that make you guys homeless? I'm going to say this. Because, Jolly Ginger said, if you voting for Republican, you're this or that. No. You got it wrong, Jolly Ginger. Whatever the hell your name is. If you vote for Democrats, you are signing your own papers to say, I don't care what you do to me after I'm done fighting your wars. Because we all see it. I see it every single day. Every single day. My husband's a veteran. And sometimes he wake up out of his sleep fighting. You know that? And I have to stroke him and hold him and say, baby, it's all right. It's all right, baby. Do you understand that? My uncle kicking on walls, punching holes through walls while asleep, yelling fire watch. veterans, and military and people. These people that you are protecting don't care nothing about you. And I hope y'all wake up and see that. I pray that y'all defend us and not them. Because if you are fighting on their side, you are fighting against God. And one person you don't want to fight against is him. Because that's a losing battle. I don't care how strong you feel like you are and how good your tactics are. When it comes to God, it's useless. Now, military vets and military and people, stand up. Stand up. And that's what I said.
Hi. Yeah, I was tagged, so you know what that means. It's not going to be a good night for somebody. So it seems like this story is not going to go away easily. We're going to have to keep pushing back on this. The radical left in the media feels like they've got something that they can hang on Donald Trump, despite the fact that they're all full of shit. And here's another one. And we're going to take this one piece by piece.
Donald Trump has broken the law again. And the MAGA don't care. Nobody cares that he breaks the law.
Oh, madam, we care about whether people break the law. Question is, do you? I'm curious about your stance on illegal immigration, but I digress. But you know what we don't care about? We don't care about these propaganda hoaxes that you guys continue to try to prop up because you think it's going to win you an election. And you know what else we don't care about? We don't care that you're upset about it.
This is him at National Arlington Cemetery. What he's doing right now is actually against federal law. This is him filming and taking pictures so that he can use them for political purposes. And that's exactly what he did. The only thing is, that's actually against the law. Federal law prohibits political campaign or election-related activities within Army National Military cemeteries to include photographers, content creators, or any other persons attending for purposes or in direct support of a partisan political candidate's campaign. And that's exactly what he was doing. And it doesn't matter if someone invites you, if the family invites you, they're inviting you for political purposes.
But you know what we do care about? We care about the feigned outrage, the blatant in-your-face, over-the-top hypocrisy that continues to come from the media and the left. Because you didn't care about this, you don't care about that. Doesn't seem like you care about this either. And what about that? Do you care about that? Oh, but I got more. It seems like you're upset because a campaign was using the images of something that happened at Arlington National Cemetery. But I want to ask you a question. Did you bother to go back to look to see if any of your prior candidates, your oatmeal brain god, Joe Biden, had maybe done the same thing? You probably should have done that.
Oh, you can never lessen the magnitude of your loss. This I can promise you. We will never forget. May God bless you all. May God protect your troops.
You see, what's funny is before I made this video, I went down through your channel to see if you created a similar type of video back in May of 2020. And oddly enough, I couldn't find anything. You didn't seem to care when Joe Biden was using an image taken of him at Arlington National Cemetery in a campaign ad. Why do you care now?
Yep. Why do you care now? Well, let's get into that. Let's dig in a little bit, because, sometimes we just gotta. First, I'm going to start with this. This is a tweet put out, I believe it was this morning, or was it this morning, August 31st at 9:14 a.m. It says, and let me get my glasses on because I don't want to mess up her non-ability to speak properly by me not being able to read. Yep. Okay, let's see. As vice president, I have had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. It is a solemn place, a place where we come together to honor American heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service of this nation. It is not a place for politics. And yet, as was reported this week, and I'm going to pause there for a second, guys, because we know that the media is nothing but a tool of the Democrat Party, a weapon against every American's real voice, and enemies of the truth. Now, you notice I didn't say enemies of the people, I said enemies of the truth. Just remember I said that, okay? All right. And yet, as was reported this week, Donald Trump's team chose to film a video there, resulting in an altercation with cemetery staff. Pause. I'm pausing because there was no such altercation. It's a lie. Let me be clear. The former president, back to her, let me be clear. The former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt. Now, I just showed you a video where a president was using photographs and video for a political purpose. But I digress. Back to the post. This is nothing new for Donald Trump. This is a man who has called our fallen service members suckers and losers and disparaged Medal of Honor recipients. Pause. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Ladies, plug your ears. But this cunt is a liar. And I call her that because she deserves no respect whatsoever. None whatsoever. With what she did to the criminal or to the justice system in the state of California, what she did in the Senate as supposedly a representative of Californians and Americans was disgraceful. And what she has done as vice president is treasonous. It's often talked about how Joe will be removed by the 25th Amendment. Okay, the 25th Amendment was used as a weapon against Joe. However, what people do not realize is that the 25th Amendment can also be used against Kamala Harris and the entire administration. Why do I say that? I believe it's Article 3 of that same section. I think it's Section 3. I may be off on that, but it's in there in the 25th Amendment. Is that those who hide the fact of the inability of the president are committing treason. They are committing treason. They committed treason by hiding Joe Biden's decline, both physically and mentally, and have been running this country into the ground while doing so. So, yes, she is a lying cunt. And I hate to say that word, but I'm sorry. The truth is the truth. And sometimes it just has to be said. I apologize for my language. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because I'm only speaking the truth. And I'm sure you guys get mad sometimes enough to say the C word. All right. I'm sure every person in this chat at one time in your life has said the word and you kind of regret saying it almost immediately after saying it. But the fact of the matter is the defining definition of that word is a category all by itself, and it itself would need at least 5 to 6 pages in any dictionary. Okay, so I'm I'm just saying, okay? This is a statement that she put out on Twitter thinking that nobody was going to contest anything that she says. And let me tell you, okay, I'm telling you, what I'm going to be showing you right after I finish with her post is this, okay? And I'm going to go through all 13 families. I think, actually, I'm sorry. I think they only put 8 of them up here. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they only put 8 of them up here. So, but we're going to go through those 8 replies, okay, to this statement that she, oh, thank you, Slow Country. Yeah, so guys, if you look at that link, you don't have Facebook. If I can get somebody to drop that link over on the Facebook side too, so that people there that want to look into it can understand. It was Section 3. Okay, Bill Schultz says 25th Amendment, Section 3. Okay, so by the deception that this administration has committed in his capacities, okay, his faculties being scrambled, okay, have in fact committed treason, not just against the American people, but to the U.S. military, okay, to our governments, okay, both local, county, state, and federal, okay, have committed more crimes in that period of time than a career criminal that was never caught. Okay, when I say career criminal, career is an established skill at either providing or facilitating artistic value in one's special skills. So you think a bank robber who's never been caught, okay, well, that's a possibility that it was one crime, maybe 2. Okay, but a career criminal does not stop. They continue. That's where serial comes in. Okay, they say serial killer. Okay, well, I killed a box of Raisin Bran this morning. Okay, so I guess I'm a serial killer too. Okay, but I digress. Okay, but a career criminal does not stop. And that is exactly what they're doing. Everything that they have done and accomplished in this period of time that goes 100% against our Constitution, against our state and federal laws, okay, are committing real personal harm on every single American. People are going without food. People are going without fuel. People are going without housing. People are going without proper medical care. Those are all individual crimes that any American who feels that they have physically been harmed or mentally been harmed by these crimes committed, these treasonous acts committed against your person. Okay. It's a very difficult position to be in that Kamala is in currently now because she knows that the majority of Americans are on to exactly what they have been doing and what they are going to do. This is a very defining moment where they have to stand in what they call their reality against our definitive truth. Okay. So we have our definitive truth and proofs to back them, but we also have an ally because most of these people are pure evil. And we have Christ and our Heavenly Father on our side. We have to believe that it is possible to do the impossible. We have to believe in the impossible to believe that our Heavenly Father can make all things possible. Now, some of you are probably sitting there saying, he went from calling that woman a cunt to talking about God. There's a difference between cussing and cursing. Cursing is a admonishment with punishment of a deity, or by a deity, I should say. Cussing is colorful language used to describe reality, like FUBAR, fucked up beyond all recognition. Okay? It's the idea that these people, especially in this administration, not that we have not had administrations before this that were bad, but this is by far 100% the worst administration in my lifetime. Words are words. Truth, however, is everything. When Christ stood in front of Pilate, he says, I came here to tell the truth. And all those who listen to me know the truth. Now, we are in this period of time where we are questioning even our churches, our established buildings. But see, I do not, this is what I'm going to say. I don't believe a 501c3, okay, is a real church. You may have good pastors capable of spitting, spitting the gospels. But are they legitimate? No, I do not believe so. Because if in a time like such as this, if the government tells you that you have to act this way and you tell your parishioners that they have to act this way, then you are controlled by something other than our Heavenly Father. Christ said that we are the church. He said the Pharisees, and John the Baptist said it too. That they're vipers. And the Sanhedrin, the Pharisees, they got upset that he said that they called them vipers and snakes. Okay, because where are snakes born? Snakes are born inside their mother. Okay. And they eat their way out, generally killing the mother. So they were they were insulted because that they were called vipers because that means that they would have eaten their way out of their mothers. Okay, that they would have killed their mothers, and no holy person, or anybody who believes that they're holy wouldn't want to believe that they killed their mother, right? It's a so in calling them a pit of vipers, Christ was calling them snakes. That you're fake. This temple that was built was to be a house for the Lord. And when the Lord sent his son to fix you, you killed him. But let's get back to the other snake. Okay? So back to Kamala's words. So he never said suckers and losers. All right. Joe Biden was the one who said that. And he also told service people that they were, if you ain't clapping for that, I don't remember what his exact words. So I probably shouldn't say it, but we'll get more into that later. So, all right. A man who, during a previous visit to the cemetery, reportedly said of fallen service members, "I don't get it. What was in it? What was in it for them?" Actually, that's not what he said. If we actually want to take that quote of "I don't get it," what was in it for them, then it would be Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, and Michelle Obama saying to Barack, "I don't get it. All this for a flag? Clap, you stupid bastards." That was it. Okay. So, they're taking a statement made by Barack and Michael Obama and attributing that now to Trump. Yeah. All right. So continuing on, this is a man who is unable to comprehend anything other than service to himself. We have seen that this is absolutely about nothing about service to himself when we know that he went into office being a $4 billionaire to getting out of office to being a $2 billionaire. He spent, not only did he give away the paycheck that was given to him every time, he donated it to either the Wounded Warriors or many other organization and charities that actually do things for people. Okay, he didn't give it to anybody who would not use it for the purposes that he was intending it to give. Okay. Not only did he do that, Okay, but he spent his own money in office, okay, continuing to do rallies throughout his 4 years. He continued to do rallies. I mean, there weren't as many of them because he was being a president, but he always had I think it was at least once it was like once a month he was still doing a rally. It seemed like, maybe it wasn't as much as that, but it seemed like it, okay. But he paid for everything that him and his wife and his son did while in office. So it's like he didn't use the office to benefit himself. He used the office to benefit the American people. And we all saw it. We all felt it. And we knew it. Okay. And so as I'm reading her statement, I have to stop myself and say, well, maybe somebody will make a clip out of this entire section, talking about this, and have people hear it, and then maybe just maybe look up some information and change their freaking minds before it's too late. You don't want to be on the wrong side of history, I think, at this point. You really don't. Because, we all want to be remembered for doing the best that we can for our fellow man. Okay. We all want to be remembered as being a good person, just being a good human. But to gaslight the people that do listen to you for political gain is more clear by this fool and her cohort, okay, Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, and Biden. The 25th Amendment applies in more than one way. It wasn't just to remove Trump, but it's going after Kamala too. And people need to realize this. And I'm telling you, the 25th Amendment is going to come into play. So continuing on, if there is one thing on which we as Americans all agree, we don't agree with pretty much anything that you say. That's me saying that. Okay. That is that our veterans, military families, service members should be honored, never disparaged, and treated with nothing less than our highest respect and gratitude. Then why didn't you bring those 13 service members home? No, you left them there to die. That was me. Again, I had to insert. Okay. Back to her. And it is my belief that someone who cannot meet this simple sacred duty should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States of America. I will always honor the service and sacrifice of all the America's fallen heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our beloved nation and our cherished freedoms. I mourn them and salute them, and I will never politicize them. You are doing exactly that right now by even posting this. Okay, you have politicized the American fallen heroes. Okay, and the thing is they didn't fight on behalf of our beloved nation. Okay, they fought on behalf of a corrupt government. Okay, and it wasn't about our cherished freedoms. It was about the freedom of other countries. It was never about American freedom. Never. Not once. And that's a Marine saying it. It was never about our freedom. It was about the freedom of whatever country we were invading. War has never profited the American people. War has always cost the American people. The only people who get rich during a time of war are politicians, lobbyists, and federal departments. Those are the only people, and the Pentagon. And those corporations that sum up the entirety of the military industrial complex. So that's both financial, business, corporation sectors. Laura Loomer replied to her, "Hey, you stupid brain dead lying bitch. Isn't this you and brain dead Joe Biden making a video of yourselves at Arlington National Cemetery? If you're not allowed to film, why are you posing for cameras and all glammed up? You're a hypocrite and a liar." She also went on to say, so these are cooked. And I'm actually going to go to the source for this. I think that might be one of the other fathers. So let's jump into this side. Powerful Gold Star families who stood with President Trump release video blasting Kamala Harris' unhinged rhetoric. In a powerful and emotionally charged video, several Gold Star families who have long stood by President Trump have come forward to deliver a scathing critique of Kamala Harris. This video, which has rapidly gained traction on social media, lays bare the deep frustrations these families harbor towards Harris, accusing her blatant disregard for military families and their sacrifices since she took office. The video was released just days after President Trump honored the 13 U.S. service members who tragically lost their lives 3 years ago during the chaotic withdrawal of Afghanistan. These brave men and women were killed in a suicide bombing outside Kabul airport, an event that still haunts the nation. Stand alongside the grieving families and fellow service members. Trump paid tribute to the fallen heroes in a solemn ceremony that was a stark contrast to the action or inactions of the current administration. However, instead of joining the nation in mourning, and mainstream media focused its energy on criticizing President Trump for taking photos at Arlington National Cemetery, ignoring the sacrifices of these heroes, the media chose instead to sensationalize the event, accusing Trump of using sacred ground for a political stunt. The U.S. Army, too, condemned Trump for the photo op, while curiously avoiding any criticism of President Biden, whose decisions during the Afghan withdrawal actually directly led to the tragic death of these 13 members. In an official statement, the U.S. Army said Arlington National Cemetery routinely hosts public wreath-laying ceremonies at the tomb of the unknown soldier for individuals and groups who submit requests in advance. Participants in the August 26th ceremony and the subsequent Section 60 visit were made aware of federal laws, Army regulations, DOD policies, which clearly prohibit political activities on the cemetery grounds. The statement went on to detail how an ANC employee who attempted to enforce these rules was allegedly abruptly pushed aside, but chose not to press charges. The Army then declared the matter closed and overlooking the border issues at play. President Trump's campaign spokesman, Stephen Chung, said we were granted access to have a photographer there. The families of the fallen heroes also defended Trump, stating we had given our approval for President Trump's videographer and photographer to attend the event, ensuring these sacred moments of remembrance were respectfully captured so that we can cherish these memories forever. We are deeply grateful to the president for taking the time to honor our children and for standing alongside us in our grief, offering his unwavering support during such a difficult time. His compassion and respect meant more than words can express. And it was signed by the entire family. Okay. In the newly released video, they directly confront Kamala Harris, criticizing her for her lack of empathy and understanding of what military families endure. Their outrage was further fueled by a post Harris made on social media in which she had accused Trump of disrespecting sacred ground and engaging in a political stunt. Harris went on to rehash unproven claims that Trump had previously disparaged fallen service members, calling them suckers and losers, and questioned his capacity to comprehend anything beyond service to himself. And I just read the post. In response to Harris' post, one Gold Star mother said in the video, well, I'm going to start playing them and I'm going to let you guys hear it for yourself. This is thank you to the Gateway Pundit for providing such accurate and truthful content. I appreciate you and everything that you guys do there. And I am honored to share stories like this that you guys help to put together.
Good afternoon. My name is Herman Lopez. I'm a Gold Star father. My son, Corporal Hunter Lopez, was a U.S. Marine killed in action on August 26, 2021. This message is intended for Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm not a person who usually takes to social media, but earlier today, your post regarding the incident at Arlington National Cemetery was brought to my attention. After reading it, it caused a reaction with me. You indicated in your post that you support the military and military families. I, for one, have not seen that support. It's been 3 years since my son was killed in action, and myself, my family, and other Gold Star families have not seen any support from you or your administration. You may make hollow promises about the economy or anything else you'd like to make promises about. But one thing that I ask of you, and the reason I'm making this message, is for you to stop making comments about your support for the military. As a Gold Star father, I know that you have not supported us. I know that you have not supported other Gold Star families. Please stop making these types of comments because that support has not been demonstrated. Your words are hollow and empty. My other request is that for the American public to know that these messages, these promises from Kamala Harris, especially in regard to supporting the military and our military families, are false and baseless. They have not been proven, and she has not earned our respect. Thank you very much.
That's the first one. Let's move on. This is a message, and that was a message to Kamala from Herman Lopez, a Gold Star father of Corporal Hunter Lopez. The next one is a message to Kamala from Christy Shamblin, Gold Star mother-in-law of Sergeant Nicole G.
Vice President Harris, my name is Christy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. This year, for the 3rd year anniversary of her murder, we welcome President Donald J. Trump to Arlington to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier with our family and to visit Nicole graveside. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you? And finally, why would you take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called. President Trump shows up. And President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
Ooh, yep. So this is a message to Kamala from Jim McCullum, Gold Star father of Lance Corporal Riley McCullum.
Vice President Harris, my name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, killed in Afghanistan, August 26, 2021. Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. How do you sleep at night knowing it was you, this administration, you and Biden, you being the last one in the room, are responsible for the death of our 13 kids? You have failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me. You have failed in your duties as vice president. You have been nothing but disrespectful to me and the families of the 13. Yet you're claiming that you will always be respectful and show respect for our fallen. You've been absent for 3 years and 8 months. You've proven that you're not capable to do the job that you have, let alone the job that you seek. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect, but President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is. You have the day you deserve.
All right. Here is a message to Kamala from Darren Hoover, Gold Star father of Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover.
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover. Kamala, I want you to understand, and I know it will be difficult for you because you lack empathy and basic understanding. The events that happened on August 26, 2024, with President Trump at Arlington National Cemetery were solemn and in keeping with the reverence and respect that is given to all members of our military that are buried there. We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video and the pictures to be taken at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. This was a very solemn wreath laying in our son's name, along with the Sergeant Nicole G family, as well as 2 of our catastrophically injured military members that were there on that horrific day in the honor of our Abbey Gate 13. We then moved to the gravesite where our children are buried. Again, we asked the Trump team to take the videos, take the pictures of our time there. President Trump then laid a wreath at the grave side of Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Christian Knaus. There he talked to both his mother and father. President Trump then moved to our son's grave, where we were surrounded by our family and friends, where we talked about Taylor and his sacrifice to this country. Let me be clear. There was no politics discussed, none whatsoever. There was also not an assault that we observed take place, or did we hear it? I don't know where this is coming from, but it's disgusting and gross. President Trump has been there for us from the very beginning, when our son and the other 12 of his brothers and sisters in arms were murdered due to your negligence and uncaring attitude towards our military. Don't forget, Kamala, you were the last one in the room. You and Joe Biden made the final decision on how to pull out of Afghanistan. You created the chaos and mayhem for the military to accomplish their goals. Our sons and daughters made the best of a difficult situation, as they had been trained to do. They adapted and overcame all of that and came out as heroes, something that you will never know or understand. Kamala, we have been treated with the utmost respect, compassion, and understanding by President Trump, something you and Joe Biden have refused to do since August 26, 2021. No, where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names, just as you have done for the last 3 years. Neither one of you have called to speak with us or share in our grief. I wonder, Kamala, do you sleep at night securely in your bed? Or do you have nightmares of our kids because it was your incompetence and negligence that got our kids murdered? It is you who sends out messages on social media that are outright lies. It is you that has disrespected our families. It is you who knows nothing about service and sacrifice. It is you that has divided this country, and it is you who is unfit to be the commander-in-chief. These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day. You should be ashamed and embarrassed at your lack of empathy and decency as a human being. You are only in this for the power and prestige. You don't care for our military or the citizens of this country. You should hang your head in shame at your actions or lack thereof. You need to move aside, get out of the way, and stop hindering the progress, growth, and independence of this great nation.
All right. Message to Kamala from Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Lance Corporal Jared M. Schmitz.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. Here we are on a beautiful holiday weekend day. I got to stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris, trying to incite those that don't follow the truth that President Trump was in Arlington as a political stunt. Shows you how much you know about the 13 families. We invited him to be there. Groundwork was put into place by Congressman Ice's office to make sure we followed protocol. Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call. Imagine for a second that your kid is killed. And there's a president of the United States willing to take you under his wing and listen to you. That's what we found in President Trump. Certainly not you, and certainly not Joe Biden. You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud in the halls of Congress, at a State of the Union, hell, anything. The irony behind your post that you give a rat's ass about our military or our veterans, Jared's brothers and sisters in arms, the rest of the 12, their brothers and sisters in arms, is an outright lie. We're living proof of that. You're despicable. You have zero business running this country. And I pray to God, Americans, wake the hell up and get your ass out of office. You have spit in our face for the last fucking time.
All right, give me 1 second here, guys. I want to copy the address for this and drop it in. Copy. And here is the link for this article. And if I can get somebody to drop that over on the Facebook side, that would be great. Those of you on X, you can just look at the Gateway Pundit and grab it from there. But we're going to keep going. We have a couple more left. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 more left. And I think that they deserve the opportunity to be heard. And that's why I'm playing them, Semper Fi. And you know, it's they don't have a voice anymore other than their families, and they deserve it. Here we go. Message to Kamala from Jocelyn. It's either Jocelyn or Jacqueline. I think that's Jocelyn. Jocelyn Schmitz. Gold Star mother of Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes. Our kids were murdered because of your administration, and you are partly to blame for that as well. What happened at Arlington was President Trump was invited by those families who have their soldiers buried at Arlington. They were invited there as a friend, as somebody who has taken the time numerous times on numerous occasions to hear our stories, to speak our kids' names, and to help us get some accountability from your administration, because in over 3 years, we have gotten nothing but more and more lies. Just like your statement, more and more spun lies and cover-ups to make you and your administration look good. But there is one thing that you said in your statement that was true. No one should be running for president if they cannot honor military members, their families, as well as veterans. So I guess that means that you should step down, Kamala.
Yeah. Ooh. Tag. Ooh. Message to Kamala from Coral Doolittle, Gold Star mother of Corporal Humberto A. Sanchez.
My name is Coral Doolittle. I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother. This is my statement of what happened on August 26, 2024. My son is not buried in Arlington, but I really feel like when President Trump went and paid tribute and paid his respect in Arlington for our kids, it was not just the ones buried in there. It was for all of our kids. And it was an invitation that the families actually extend to him. And it's not the first time that he actually meet with us and share time and with our families. After 3 years until now, Kamala Harris and President Biden didn't even say their 13 names. They called the withdrawal in Afghanistan a success. And for us, it was just sadness and a disgrace. They are the responsible persons of murdering our kids. And until these days, they did not give us a meeting. They did not accept to meet with us and give us an explanation of what happened. Being him the commander-in-chief, he definitely left our kids behind and just to fill the agenda of his prior commitments. I invite Kamala Harris and Joe Biden to accept the meeting with us and meet with us and explain us what was the whole deal behind the withdrawal in Afghanistan. I think that as a parents, we deserve a explanation and we deserve the truth of what happened with our kids that day.
Yeah. One more. Yeah, I think this is the last. This is the last one. Oh, what are you doing, buddy? You're gonna take my mouse away, and then it's gonna mess up the video. Yeah.
Vice President Harris.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Steve Nakui, Gold Star, father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui. I think that's how you say his name.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui. And your administration killed my son. Deliberately in exchange for political theatrics, so you could have a final day of the evacuation coincide with September 11th. Ignoring the advice of your generals, the Doha Agreement, and countless other veterans and members of Congress. Denying the safety of the Afghans and the servicemen and women. Your choice to play politics in 2021 killed 170 Afghans, 13 U.S. service members, and wounded 45 of our service members, as well as countless Afghans. You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. At no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service. Not once have you honored him by saying his name, so I said it for you. You have disparaged all 13 who have lost their lives as well as their families, exhibiting your lack of gratitude by your silence. I agree with you on one thing, that a person like you should never and will never stand behind the seal of presidency. You are a DEI vice president, and contrary to our kids, the worst that America has to offer. I will pray for you, that God has mercy on your soul.
Yep. So, that's just, that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. 8 out of the 13. And I'm sure that there will be more, but this cannot be cannot be discounted. This statement that she made goes beyond disrespect and care, I think that that this is going to come back to haunt this entire administration for decades. This will come back to it. It's so disappointing. Let's see. What's this here?
If you are upset by this,
we didn't lose one person in 18 months, and then they took over. That disaster.
then you should tap that like button right now and don't forget to share the video immediately, because the next video that I have that's about to play is going to be 10 times more offensive.
We can never lessen the magnitude of your loss. This I can promise you. We will never forget. May God bless you all. May God protect our troops.
Now, if you paid attention at the very end of that video, you'd see that that was an official campaign ad that was launched by Biden on Memorial Day in 2020. But additionally, you would have learned that Joe Biden said he would never forget. And unfortunately, June of this year, when he was debating Donald Trump, he forgot that those service members died on his watch, and several others, believe it or not, this year. So before you go and pass judgment on how Trump made you feel by taking pictures in Arlington National Cemetery, why don't you stop for a second and think about the families of those service members who were standing next to him in those photographs, and how it made them feel after learning from their president that he had forgot that they had died. Think about that. If you are...
Yep. Just, there's just no, there's absolutely no comparison, absolutely none. There's no way to explain this away, let's see.
One thing that ran through my mind as I was there, joining President Trump and honoring the ultimate sacrifice that these 13 service members paid, sharing the sorrow that these Gold Star families still feel and will always feel at the loss of their loved ones. Meanwhile, where is Kamala Harris? Where is Joe Biden? Well, Joe Biden's on vacation, and Kamala Harris is running a campaign based on joy and vibes and laughing her way around. I can tell you who wasn't laughing were those families, some of the survivors of that attack in this disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. This is personal for me, Judge, and so many other Americans who know firsthand the cost of war. We've seen and experienced it firsthand. We know how important it is to have a commander-in-chief who values every single one of our lives and who has the strength and the courage to exercise all means of diplomacy, meeting with dictators, allies, adversaries, partners in the pursuit of peace, recognizing that war is always and should always be a last resort. I endorse President Trump today because he has those qualities and he's proven that he is that commander-in-chief. Kamala Harris has proven she is not. We're closer to the brink of nuclear war now than ever before, closer to World War III because of Harris and Biden and their policies.
You know, Tulsi, a mother of one of the slain troops spoke out against Kamala Harris today. Take a listen.
Vice President Harris is now running to be commander-in-chief. I wonder, do you have a message for her?
You are with the whole administration in all of this. You hold the same accountability as President Biden does. You were right beside him in making these decisions. This administration has tried to sweep it under the rug, and that's absolutely not going to work for this nation.
You know, Tulsi, your response to that?
You know, I want to know if Kamala Harris has personally called every one of these 13 families and the families of those who came home injured. There was a triple amputee there today, there to honor the loss of his brothers and sisters. Has she called them to apologize for the decision that they made that resulted in this disastrous withdrawal and an explosion and an attack that took these 13 service members' lives that was completely preventable? Kamala Harris is completely unfit to serve as our commander-in-chief. Voters, regardless of whether you're Democrats or Republicans, need to know that truth, because that's really what this election is about, Judge. It's not about Democrats versus Republicans. Right. It's about having a president who stands for freedom, peace, and prosperity, which is Donald Trump, versus having a president in Kamala Harris who attacks our freedoms and censors us and uses political retaliation, who has pushed us to the brink of war, and who's created this economic hardship for Americans across the country. That's really the choice that we have before us. And for me, as a service member, as a veteran, it's a very clear choice. I love our country. I cherish peace and freedom, and I'm supporting Donald Trump in this election so that he can be our commander-in-chief once again.
You know, it's interesting, Tulsi. CNN today tried to attack Trump for attending the wreath ceremony. Take a listen.
Is he politicizing these soldiers' deaths? Should he even be at Arlington National Cemetery if he's going to make some politics out of this?
I just look at President Biden, under whose leadership we actually ended and made the tough decision to end our nation's longest war. That was the right decision by President Biden.
You know, I guess the question, Tulsi, should have been, why wasn't Biden in attendance as well? But I want to ask you, just 4 years ago, you were one of many Democrats running against Donald Trump. Today, you endorse Trump. Why?
Like I said, I've just made the case. The choice in this election is very clear, and I'm confident that if elected as president again, Donald Trump, he has the strength and the backbone to stand up to the military-industrial complex and keep us out of these unnecessary wars of choice. I want to point back to that clip you just played. Let's remember that Joe Biden on that debate stage did not even remember that his decision resulted in the deaths of 13 of my brothers and sisters in uniform. Donald Trump this morning, he didn't have a big crowd out there at Arlington Cemetery. It was him standing and grieving with these Gold Star families for hours. This wasn't just a drive-by photo op. He stayed with them for hours and helped to console them and thank them for their sacrifice that they have made for our great country.
Was it emotional for the president?
It was extremely emotional. It was extremely emotional for everyone who was there. It was groups of loved ones and family and friends. It was 2 survivors who were there at that attack at Abbey Gate in Kabul who came back, who were seriously injured now for the rest of their lives. It was such a powerful, powerful day. I'm grateful to have been there to offer my own sincere gratitude for their service and sacrifice. But it's so important that we have leaders who do this, who not just do it for a photo op, but actually express express, as President Trump did this morning. I saw it, I felt it, I experienced it, the sorrow that he felt for the great loss that not only these families have felt, but our country endures.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit there, right? You know, and Kamala Harris has proven herself incapable of doing the right thing. Yep. All right. Wicked. New Hampshire Supreme Court rules schools can keep parents in the dark about their children's gender transitions. This is it's just sick. We all know it. This is the Chief Justice who basically said, yeah, parents don't need to know. You know, it's a real shame. It's a real shame. I'm not going to go too deep into it here. So let's go ahead and get going through this. Am I? I'm on the wrong. I thought I had to. Dang nabbit. I guess I didn't. All right, let's get back here. Let's definitely cover that one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get to the feed and scroll on down. Here we go. Yeah, we got some. You can see I went through a lot of stuff. That was one of them there. Yeah. Let's see. Told you I wasn't kidding. I got stuff today. I brought stuff. I brought some funny stuff too. So let's see. Come on. Wow. I guess I went through a lot more than I thought I did. Right here. Okay, this is where we're going to start. Juanita Broderick said this dude is cool. His take on Hell's Angels going to Colorado. Now, I said last night, going to Aurora. I spoke with a friend who is a biker. I spoke to him at my gate yesterday, and we talked for quite a while. He was intimidated by the amount of dogs that I have, so he stayed on the other side of the fence. He said, I remember when I used to be able to come out here and see you, and you had 2 dogs. Yeah, times have changed. It's been about 4 years since I've seen him. So it was, I think, Trump's third year in office. So it would have been 2019 was the last time I saw him. So it's been almost 5 years since I've seen him. He's he's the kind of person that he's very community orientated, and everything. And he said, well, we're going to Colorado, but he didn't say where. He didn't say what they were going to do. He just said that they were going to Colorado. There were a couple of different clubs that there were different people, from each club that were making the trip, and they were all going together. But that's all he said. He didn't go into any type of details. So the videos that we've seen of people saying that that bikers are heading to Aurora, I cannot verify in any way, shape, or form that that is what's happening. But I do know that there's a bunch of bikers going to Colorado. That's all I know. You know, you got a lot of guys that are coming out of Sturgis area that are going to be going through Colorado. We got and stuff like that. There were a couple of videos that were put up that were in fact from Sturgis earlier this year. Okay. Maybe 2 weeks ago, I think it was, maybe possibly 3 weeks ago. And we saw that the attendance were very, very low. We saw one guy that was heading west. So it's not just Oregon and Washington and California, like my buddy was saying, because the other biker that I played last night said that they were heading west. So that means that they are probably in the Michigan, Ohio, or on the East Coast somewhere. And they're on the road. They're on the road. Does that mean anything? Does that verify anything? No. However, this guy makes a very serious point that I think everybody should hear. So I'm going to play it.
Are the Hells Angels going to Colorado? So I've been riding all day, guys, and I am not a Hells Angel. I'm not with HA. I am with a 1% club. Here's what I will tell you, guys. Everybody wants to know, is it true? Is it true? Are the Angels going to Colorado? Here's all I'm going to say. If a 1% club like the Hells Angels were to decide to get involved in whatever's going on in Colorado, it wouldn't be because you got on TikTok and you asked them to do it. No, it wouldn't be because the mayor or some congressman said, hey, can you guys come over here and help us? It's not how it works. The only way on God's green earth that HA or any other 1% club would be going to Aurora, Colorado to do anything, the only reason they would be doing that is if one of their own got fucked with. Y'all didn't fuck with one of the HAs up there, did you? Ooh, listen. It's really not a good idea. If one of their family members, a good friend of the club, a mother, one of their old ladies, if HA is on their way there, and I'm not HA at all, it's because somebody messed with one of their own. That'd be the only reason they'd do it. And if that happened, if they did that, if they are headed that way, I'm going to just highly recommend that you guys go ahead and clear out. Just whoever it was that did whatever you did to piss off the 1%ers here in America. This is not Venezuela. This is not Brazil. This is not whatever country you came from. Up here, things really are done differently. And you don't want to stand in the way. If you pissed off HA to the point where they got on their motorcycles and they're all headed to Colorado, yeah, now the news won't even talk about it when it's all said and done. Nope. We'll know. People that know will know. But the news won't talk about it. Peace and love. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. I like his content. He always puts out good stuff. All right, here's another Here's another one from Carly Bonet. This guy here, I like him. This Patriot Daddy 3.0. And Kamala's campaign is finished in a single X post. Yeah. Let's see.
Holy crap, America. Kamala Harris and her campaign is in absolute free fall right now. They are literally collapsing. Just like I told you they would. She's having her Michael Dukakis moment. Why? Because Kamala Harris is the least skilled politician to ever run for president. She's terrible at this. And this is what happens when you allow a bunch of 21, 22-year-olds to run all over platforms pretending to be your surrogates, and then you take advice from them. You got to see what's happening on Kamala Harris's X page right now after the most ill-advised post I think any person on the planet has ever made. And back on July 28th, I told you exactly what was going to happen. And for you Gen Zers who don't know who Michael Dukakis is, just sit back and watch what happens to Kamala Harris, and you'll understand exactly who Michael Dukakis is, because that's who Kamala Harris is. And the fact is, the Democrat Party knows it. They know damn well what they're getting into bed with, and they know what's going to happen in November. And this is the reason why they are trying so hard to convince you that every lie that they've been telling you about Donald Trump is true, because they're scared to death that Kamala Harris is the new Michael Dukakis. Now, what I'm going to show you is a screen recording of me scrolling through Kamala's X page, the post that she made tonight, where she thought it would be a good idea to politicize Gold Star families and try to score cheap political points. She's getting wrecked. Now watch this. This is the post that she put out today, a couple of hours ago. And I switched this to most recent. There are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of messages just like this. I didn't come across a single message of support for Kamala Harris in any of this. It got to the point where I just had to start scrolling through it just so I could try to find something positive. Look at that. You should have kept your mouth shut. Look at that. This is crazy. Totally fake. Look at this. She is just about finished. This is what Michael Dukakis looks like in 2024. Look at this. Look at this. Look, it just keeps going and going and going and going. It just keeps going. It doesn't stop. Look at this. And this is happening even faster than I thought it would. I thought it would be the debates that would actually do her in, because once she starts talking, people are going to remember just how bad she is at this. But even I completely underestimated Kamala Harris's ability to F things up. This is her Michael Dukakis moment.
Yep. Yep. All right. Average normal guy can confirm. He says, can confirm Hell's Angels heading to Aurora, Colorado. Yep. Again, we're not confirming or denying. We're just showing. That's it. All right. Carly Bonet says, unbelievable.
We're going to take a picture agreeing with your sign because I think it's white supremacy is evil.
I actually don't want pictures with my sign.
Okay.
Just turn the sign. Thank you.
All right. Well, why? So is it towards us or?
No. That's up for your discretion. So.
Do you think I'm a racist?
Don't say anything.
Can I not take a picture with your sign?
This is my property. Okay.
So I can't stand next to your property? How does one resist hate if you don't have people join you in resisting hate? Only you guys can reject white supremacy. That's right. I want to unite to end racism. We agree.
That's nice. We're not going to.
Why can't I take a picture? Can't have Charlie ever be seen denouncing racism.
You denounce racism, so do it.
I do denounce racism.
Okay,
yes.
great.
Can I take a picture of your sign? So your sign says unite against racism, right? I'll take your silence as agreement. So in order to unite against racism, wouldn't that mean that I should be able to take a picture with your sign? Aren't you dividing against racism right now? So you're not even actually practicing your own sign?
People can't stand by what they say, you know. Shall we on?
Interview. This was no interview. This was a laughable little Dana cut and paste, all edited questions in advance, hogwash manipulation, and fool the public political music video. This might as well have just been a regular ad for the Harris Walls campaign. The forced sweetness was absolutely brutal.
Now, let me start off by saying the bar is so low, it's in the 7th ring of hell. I wasn't expecting much from Kamala Harris, but I was expecting a little bit better. She's had 40 days to prepare. Kamala Harris answered those questions like she'd just been pulled over by Highway Patrol and was asked to take a breathalyzer and walk in a straight line. Like, ma'am, could you step out of the car? And she's like, my values haven't changed because they're my values.
Couldn't have said it better myself. After last night, no sane person can sit here and say that Kakala gave an interview. She spoke for 16 minutes. She's still hiding from the press and is 40 days without a real interview. Keep in mind, this was also pre-taped. Don't forget that. If this were Trump, they'd have asked him to recite the Bhagavad Gita in Mongolian. This interview did not clear up any questions surrounding Kamala's policies or her flip-flops. And Dana Bash didn't bother to push back one iota, not even a little bit.
In 2019, you said, quote, there is no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. Fracking, as you know, is a pretty big issue, particularly in your must-win state of Pennsylvania.
Sure.
Do you still want to ban fracking?
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020.
When asked whether or not the border should be decriminalized, do you still believe that?
I believe there should be consequence. We have laws that have to be followed and enforced that address and deal with people who cross our border illegally, and there should be consequences. One of the aspects, to your point, is traveling the country extensively. I mean, I'm here in Georgia. I think somebody told me 17 times since I've been vice president in Georgia alone. I believe it is important to build consensus, and it is important to find a common place of understanding of where we can actually solve problems.
On that, it is quite amazing, stunning how she can state her newfound opinions and fake centrism with a straight face, when in reality, she is part of the most progressive presidential ticket in history.
That's not hyperbole.
Now, in case you think I'm being a little too harsh on little Dana Bash, I will concede she did ask one real question, just one.
My proposal includes what would be a tax credit of $25,000 for first-time home buyers, so they can just have enough to put a down payment on a home, which is part of the American dream and their aspiration, but do it in a way that allows them to actually get on the path to achieving that goal and that dream.
So you have been vice president for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
The steps that you're talking about now, why haven't you done them already?
But like everything else, Kamala didn't have a real answer to that question. She is running as if she were never part of this administration and all its failures. She is gaslighting the American people into thinking that Donald Trump is the one man, the one who is president right now and the one who is responsible for everything that we're seeing. This line of questioning should have continued, but Dana just moved on. All she had to do was ask one follow-up question, one. But Dana moved on because she was satisfied by the word slaw that was served up. No pushback, just obedience. Slurp that slaw, Dana. This was a staged AI-style pseudo-drama interview. It was designed to fool the public, a public who has seen enough CNN interviews to know little Dana can't bash, and a faked interview is a fake news trash can. It's like a trans man overcompensating with red lipstick, nails, and 3 pounds of makeup. Most real women don't do this because they're real. Same goes for this entire interview. Every question was scripted. Every scene was preordained.
You had a lot of Republican speakers at the convention. Will you appoint a Republican to your cabinet?
Yes, I would.
Anyone
Yes,
in
I
mind?
would. No one in particular in mind. We got 68 days to go with this election, so I'm not putting the cart before the horse, but I would. I think it's really important. I have spent my career inviting diversity of opinion.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. If Kamala and Timmy want the nuclear codes, they have to come out of hiding and do real, unfake interviews with real interviews. Everything else CNN aired is fake news staging and a breathtaking contempt for American voters who sure the hell deserve to know who this giggling lunatic sop Harris is and whether she can stay sober in interviews and think clearly, even briefly. Is that too much to ask? Nuclear codes for drunks and Marxist sympathizers? We are not going there. Feel it in the wind? It's 1775 again. Will illegal immigrants be driving legally under a Harris-Walz administration? I sat down with Aldo Bottazzoni from PragerU earlier this week to discuss. Up next.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Yep. We already covered this one. The magic wand. Here we go.
The breaking of the wand ceremony, witnessed at Queen Elizabeth II's 2022 funeral, had never before been filmed and has rarely been seen by the public. The last time it occurred was in 1952, during the burial of King George VI. In this symbolic act, the Lord Chamberlain, the most senior official of the royal household, breaks his wand of office in half before placing it on the sovereign's coffin to symbolize the end of his duties. Historically, the Lord Chamberlain held enormous power over public opinion. From 1737 to 1968, the office of the Lord Chamberlain had the authority to decide which plays could be performed in theaters, effectively making him the censor of public entertainment for over 2 centuries. He ruled over the public's cultural diet long before Hollywood even existed, determining what ideas would shape the collective consciousness. Notably, at the time of Queen Elizabeth's funeral, the role was held by the former head of Britain's MI5 intelligence agency. This is rather curious, given the historic role of the Lord Chamberlain and what we know about the influence of intelligence agencies today within the entertainment industry. The tradition of granting wands or staffs to high-ranking officials of the royal household stretches back centuries, with records going as far back as the 1300s. Though officially a mere symbol, a relic of the days when such a staff might be used to reprimand unruly guests, these wands clearly carry a much deeper significance. Some royal offices even derive their titles from the staffs they wield, with names like Black Rod, Tipstaff, Gold Stick, and Silver Stick. The monarch also carries their own magic wands, known as the sovereign's scepters. They represent the temporal power of the monarch, and the current scepter, dating back to 1661, contains the 530-carat Cullinan First diamond, also known as the first star of Africa. The largest diamond in the world was supposedly gifted to Edward VII following the Second Boer War. Its sparkling brilliance serves as a shining example that this royal power over mankind actually represents conquest, bought with untold human suffering and forever drenched in the blood of the innocent. The concept of a magic wand can be traced through nearly every culture, though its exact origins are shrouded in mystery. While today we generally see them as quaint relics of a distant past, these wands still resonate and reside at the highest levels of power. The significance of this strange fact grows even greater when considering the etymology of the word wand. It is derived from the Proto-Germanic word wend, which means to turn or wind. Is it just coincidence then that the current reigning house of the United Kingdom is the House of Windsor? The previous German name of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha was changed just over a century ago in the year 1917, right before the end of World War I. Whether we examine royal traditions or the cultural influence of celebrities and movies, where wands carved from Hollywood are wielded as modern-day instruments of influence, it becomes clear that society is still being guided by occult magicians and their magic wands.
Interesting. A little breakdown there as to that wand ceremony. I thought that was cool. Here's a checkmate for you. I thought you guys might appreciate this.
Okay, so this has to be one of the biggest decodes I've ever done since I started doing videos on TikTok. Please like and share this video. If you have to, watch it again. It's very important. Now, we've heard time and time again from a certain letter of the alphabet, how do you legally introduce evidence into a court of law? Now, the Military Intelligence Agency has been collecting data for decades, but here's the problem. They couldn't use that evidence because of a certain term called the fruit of the poisonous tree, meaning if that evidence was obtained illegally or not by the certain legal terms, it could be thrown out by a court of law. Now, we've constantly heard from 45 that he caught them all. He's got it all. All the treason, the sedition, everything against the cabal. Now, as president or even after president, he couldn't just go to the courts and just produce the evidence because you need to have a legal standing to present the evidence. And as we all know, the courts are corrupt. They would throw it out. They would be like, before it even goes to the discovery phase, they would say he has no standing, kind of like we saw at the Supreme Court level of the 2020 election. But instead of going to the courts, he's having the courts come to him. A lot of these court cases, especially the one down in Georgia about the election rigging, I think it's February 28th, which, by the way, is going to be televised. He has the opportunity to defend himself by producing the evidence. How do you legally introduce evidence into the court of law? He baited them into taking him to court to actually introduce this evidence that they've had against the cabal legally into the courts against them. You see, in these cases, Trump's not the defendant. He's the bait. Checkmate, motherfuckers.
Yep.
Cheers.
We've talked about that a few times. I kept bringing up the fact, how do you introduce evidence? All right, well, here's a funny for you. Sorta. This didn't work out in her favor.
Hi. What's going on today?
I paid a lot of money, $70. I didn't have a job because it's not late. I was fine for 1 hour.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, why are we topless?
Because I'm a man. No, I'm not. I'm a man. Transgender. I don't think.
Okay. Well, they don't want you to be in the pool anymore, so we're gonna ask.
Who they don't want it? So they have to reimburse me the money that I paid.
They might be able to do that, but can you gather your things? We're gonna leave.
I will leave.
Okay. No, we're gonna leave right now.
I will leave right now.
I'm sorry?
I will leave right now.
You want to leave right now?
I will leave, but look how many things I have to gather myself.
Okay.
I know you can do it. Okay.
No. We're gonna wait here until you get your stuff and you leave. Okay, well, the rules are that they can refuse service to anyone that they want.
No, this is not the rule. Why they want?
Well,
Why am I transgender? I'm not supposed to use stuff.
Okay, hang on.
I'm a transgender.
I am-
You are against this?
No, I'm not.
No,
May I speak? May I speak?
Look at this.
Hang on.
Look at him.
I understand.
He has stuff. Look at him.
I understand.
He has a stuff.
May I speak?
I'm not a man. I'm a boy.
I haven't said ma'am. May I speak, please?
Okay. Why boys they need to use stuff?
That's beside the point. They wanted you to leave before you even took off your top because you're creating a scene here and yelling in people's faces.
I want to make complaints. I want my money back.
That's fine.
Okay.
You can do.
She was causing a disturbance and playing the sexuality card, but the officers weren't having it.
Do you have an ID on you?
No, I don't have my keys. I'm a transgender. I don't have.
Okay, I don't know that has anything to do with that, but I see. Okay. This has nothing to do with your statement that you're transgender. I don't care. I don't care what you can identify as a raccoon if you want. We're leaving. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, but you insulted me because I'm transgender, and if I poop in my cup, he has to put because he has poop.
The officers agreed to help her get a refund, but even this gesture failed to pacify this troublesome woman.
You're 16 back.
Why 16?
Because it's either 16 or 13.
No shit, you charged me 17 for no reason. No, he says here 17.
That's the savings that you get.
This is what they charge. This is not friendly at all. At all. It's not friendly for me.
I think you're kind of making it a less friendly area.
No, I was waiting for 3 hours to sleep, but I couldn't find one leg.
Hang on. You very rarely let me speak. Let me talk to you for a second. You calling body shaming people and telling them that they're fat and ugly is making this a very unfriendly place.
This is not, but this is fact. It's a truth. It's a truth. They need to be aware of this and don't show in public. I will not leave the people in the airplanes. I will not leave the people.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong?
It's not wrong.
There's a lot wrong with you. What is your name?
Like fat people, I will not allow them to travel in the airplanes. I will not allow them in the pool until they lose weight. Okay, this is what I will do.
After repeatedly frustrating the police, the officers finally took decisive action.
You've committed disorderly conduct, and we're on the verge of going to jail today. Okay.
No, I'm calling my Prospect police. I'm calling my Prospect police.
Prospect, that's fine.
No, I'm calling my
Prospect police and store the bags. There you go.
Don't pull away
No,
from
I'm
us.
not going. No, I'm not going. No, you hurt me. You hurt me. I want to make it go straight.
Everything's on camera.
No, I want to put that. I did the computer anything.
I'm just gonna squeeze out.
You're insulting me right now, going.
It's not tight.
Yeah, I'm
We
going.
can see it.
I want to go to hospital because you hurt me. Look at my face. You hurt my head. You hurt me. No, I don't want to. I didn't do anything. You are the one that. I want to go to Glenbrook Hospital because you hurt my head. I want to call my lawyer.
Okay.
No, give me my phone. I want to call my lawyer.
We'll call when we get there.
Yeah, you call them after you get done being booked and stuffed in a cell. And then when they find the time, they'll let you make a call. All right, here's, I think this is Ice Cube.
The process. You don't vote just to vote. You vote because you're getting something or your community is getting something. So everybody that's telling you that, man, look at them and say, what are you getting? Because people that just want you to vote and not ask for nothing, people that's in power that want you to vote but don't want you to get anything or not asking for you to get anything economically, they suspect, straight up. Because a lot of people been in place for a long time and we ain't got shit. That shit gonna end. That shit gonna end. We gonna get what we supposed to get. Period. And anybody asking you not to ask, I wouldn't listen to them. Because that's the process. Every community asks for what they want. And we're going to do the same goddamn thing. Anybody telling you that you got to vote, that it's your duty, that you have to exercise the right, and that people died for you to vote. For one, people did die, but nobody walked out their house to go die for you to vote. They were killed by probably some racists that don't want to see us get anything. Be skeptical of anybody telling you to vote and not telling you to ask for anything or to tell you to just vote and not to get anything for your vote. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. Yeah. Yep. So here we go. Senator Tom Cotton shuts down the fake news Arlington hoax.
Bottom line, though, I guess, Senator, is it ever appropriate to make campaign content at military grave sites?
He didn't take campaign photos there. These families, Gold Star families, whose children died because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's incompetence, invited him to the cemetery. And they asked him to take those photos because, as they told me yesterday, when I spoke to Kelly Barnett and Darren Hoover, the parents of Taylor Hoover, who has Arkansas ties, they don't get to go to the beach on Labor Day. They don't get to have barbecues. This is their one chance to have a memory of their children, to commemorate their service and to honor their sacrifice. They wanted President Trump there. They wanted to take those photos. You know who the families also invited? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Where were they? Joe Biden was sitting at a beach. Kamala Harris was sitting at her mansion in Washington, D.C. She was 4 miles away, 10 minutes. She could have gone to the cemetery and honored the sacrifice of those young men and women, but she hasn't. She never has spoken to them or taken a meeting with them.
Well, they did meet with them during the dignified
It's
transfer.
because of
they
her-
were with them at the dignified transfer.
Her and Joe Biden's incompetence. Those 13 Americans were killed in Afghanistan.
Yep. Because of her incompetence. Yep. Yeah. Here we go. More lies.
He has lost his privileges and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that
Why isn't it playing? There we go. Let's try it again.
he has lost his privileges and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop. He has lost his privileges and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different.
Yeah. So she's talking about Elon and the fact that Elon, allows free speech. Yeah. We're not going to go into that one. This one we are. Here we go.
Hey, I'm good. Just one of
Well, we got donuts over here if you want to thank you for your hard work.
I can bring some for my kids.
Okay. The 25% tariffs we just brought in on Chinese steels going to help you out.
That's going to keep my job. Yeah. What about the
$400
40% tax? and I don't have a doctor.
The $400 million we invested in the card. You're going to have a job for
I think you're only here for another year. We won't see you around probably another year.
Well, that's what elections are for.
That's right. That's right.
And I look forward to everyone exercising the right to vote.
Yep.
Basic choice. We're going to invest in you and your job.
I don't believe you for a second.
Dental care. Do you know anyone who got dental care?
Yeah, I pay for it myself.
Okay.
We're like 3 years
You
behind.
have a job covered.
Yeah,
but we
four
got
people in my
seniors.
family.
We've got
Every
seniors.
time we go for a dental visit, it's costing me about $50 in my pocket per person.
Okay.
Why? I have a good job. You're not really doing anything for us, Justin.
Well, actually, we just invested so 500,000 people hadn't been to the dentist. Got to go to the dentist over the past few months.
Probably like my neighbor that doesn't go to work because she's lazy. She
you know
just
what?
doesn't go to work. She lives the same
Most
way 5 years.
Canadians try to stick up for each other, and that's what we're going to keep doing.
Yeah.
Good luck and take care of your family,
No,
sir.
no, I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
Have a nice day.
Have a good day, sir. All right. All right, the other guys got the donuts. Excellent.
Yeah. They got the donuts. Who's got the donuts? All right. So I think this is funny. Trans people are currently fuming over 2 female OnlyFans creators pretend to be trans to sell their OnlyFans subscription. The trans community is lashing out, saying the women are pretending to be a gender they aren't. Some are even wishing death upon them for changing their gender. People like this need to hang in the gallows, said one, and another said, "You should kill yourself, you stupid broke bitch. Get out of our spaces." And then we've got Hang on a second. You should kill yourself. I already did that. I've always wanted to curb stomp two people at once with both feet. Oh, the irony. Well, this is their. I think the apple's rotten right to the core from all the things was done. I think the apple's rotten right to the core from all the things was done. I think the apple's rotten right to the core. Yeah. I'm just, yeah, I can't help myself sometimes. Sometimes I just gotta, because it works out that way. Yep. It's just. All right. This is kind of a long one. This is
my friends. We have a bombshell news report. A whistleblower, a CIA whistleblower, dropping hard evidence that implicates Biden, Obama, Hillary, Brennan, that they actually executed SEAL Team 6 and covered it up. And there is audio, video, and documentary proof. Now, before I get into this, if you're new here, go ahead and tap that red button down below to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when the latest news breaks. Now, Anna Kate, she'll be joining me in just a moment. She tweeted out yesterday, and now the story is going viral across the web. She said, breaking, Alan Harrow Perot, CIA whistleblower, tells Charles Woods, the father of Tyrone Woods, who was killed in Benghazi, that Obama and Biden sent $152 billion as a cover-up for the deaths of SEAL Team 6. Allen said all of the proof will come out, documents and audio. Now, I'm going to play you the video that's attached here. Okay, video of the whistleblower's own words. But first, let's get some background. Kerry Donovan from DJHJ Media reports that the full interview of the CIA whistleblower interviewed by Charles Woods and Nicholas No surfaced on Sunday, where the three talk about the blackmail extortion of $152 billion sent to Iran to cover up the deaths of SEAL Team 6 by the Obama administration. Perot has extensive experience with the intelligence community, and he's planning on releasing the documents this week on what he said are going to uncover numerous crime sprees. Now, I personally have confirmation that the whistleblower evidence is now in the hands of a member of Congress with the means to take action. And Perot said, of the evidence, a heavy price has been paid for what we are uncovering, and millions of people want to see the truth has to come out. Yes, the truth has to come out. Let's take a look now at the whistleblower before we get to Anna. We'll be right back with Anna after this.
You'd think he'd know not to lie about something so obvious. He said it was a Muslim burial at sea. Nonsense. And so this big lie that you see, Biden, Hillary, and Clinton worked this agreement with Iran. They trusted Iran to move bin Laden to Pakistan. He did. He was there. But then they trusted Iran to keep him there. They moved him out back to Iran. And then the communication from Iran to Obama was, hey, we got your neck in a noose. Give us all this money. $152 billion. $2 billion on an airplane pallet was paid out for the secrets I wish to reveal now and to the president under the terms of misprision and treason. That is to say, this is a secret. These are secrets worth $152 billion paid by President Obama. And Vice President Biden paid with the blood of SEAL Team 6 when he had them killed.
So it's blackmail and extortion then.
Blackmail and extortion.
Now,
Iran commandeered.
You have the documents to
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Now,
Iran. Yes, sir.
Well, I was going to ask you, if you have those documents, are you willing to personally deliver those to President Trump if he were to provide the transportation and the guarantee of safety for you to do that?
Well, I'm not concerned about safety. There's always an invisible hand that protects us, and we're on the winning team. America's on the winning team.
Not one sparrow falls to the ground outside of God's will.
Yes. It would be my pleasure and my honor to bring this material to President Trump. There's a massive amount terabytes, documents, video, audio. But it needs to go to the president.
I will do everything that I can to get this video.
And now joining me is Anna Kate. Anna has personally seen and heard the evidence firsthand. She was there when the information was transferred to a person of influence in the United States government. Anna, break this all down for us. This is huge news. What are the implications for Obama, Hillary, Brennan? What did you hear on those audio recordings?
First of all, I want to say, thank you, Gary, for having me on. I want to say this is the most explosive information that Americans and the entire world will ever hear. I have to say, these men are heroes. Alan, Charles, Nick, they are American heroes. It's an honor to even be a part of this. I was not expecting this at all. I was attending American Priority Conference in Florida, where Trump Doral, and they were the last ones to speak. Save the best for last, because shockingly, they gave this presentation, dropped this Benghazi bombshell on all of our heads, and we're all wondering what in the world just happened. I came up to honor these wonderful men. They're Christian men. They're spirit-filled men. As a Christian, I wanted to honor them as American patriots and heroes. And they basically said, "Hey, we need someone to help release this right now. Would you help us?" And so I jumped on the bandwagon. We got to my room right away, put the stuff out there. They showed me a lot of the documents. I heard the audios. I heard even more audios this morning. Gary, it is explosive. The audios that they have, I can't mention some of the names, but I'll tell you the biggest names in intelligence, the biggest names in the Obama administration, Brennan, Clinton. There's so much. It ties into Joe Biden. There is so much here. What this administration has done is absolute treason. Now, we all know, and not all of us actually in America are aware, that something was wrong with Benghazi. Okay, there were red flags there, and there was big red flags with SEAL Team 6, who took out Osama bin Laden. It was interesting timing right before Obama's reelection, how this bin Laden raid happened. But turns out that all of these stories, they're all linked together. This is the best kept secret in this country until now. It is time to come forward, and I'm so blessed that this man, Alan, who has an extensive history in the Middle East, over 20 years working intelligence in the Middle East, who, regrets some of the things that he has done, but has come forward as a Christian saying it's time to release this information. He has thousands of files, thousands of documents that are in the hands of these whistleblowers. So it's a team effort, and a lot of media sources have this information. As you have said, a congressperson has received this disc last night. I was there. It happened right in front of me. We're about to see some explosive things surface. I'll tell you a little quick preview of what it's about. Obviously, you have Nick No, who is a Benghazi whistleblower who reached out to Charles Woods after his son died in Benghazi. He was a sniper up on the roof in Benghazi. His father, Charles Woods, never knew what happened to Tyrone Woods. He was lied to by the Obama administration, telling them that they have done everything that they could to protect those men, which was a bold-faced lie. They did not. And Alan, Charles Woods explains it in his presentation, which is up on my YouTube if you want to see the entire presentation. He explained what Obama wrote him a 3-sentence letter, Gary, a 3-sentence letter completely lying to him. And what happened was, after Charles went on different interviews and it went viral, there were intelligence people that reached out to Charles and said, that is not what happened. You were lied to. This is what happened. Benghazi, Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration, they were sending weapons, Stinger missiles from Libya to Syria, and it was going through Benghazi. And they allowed all those men to be taken out because of what they knew. And he also found out, in addition to that, which is insane, he found out more information about the SEAL Team 6 with Osama bin Laden, which is what is all of this is coming out. It's all connected together.
So from what I've been able to gather so far, listening to the whistleblower himself, looking over the different articles that have already been published, in conversations with people, with yourself, other sources, what I'm able to gather here is that the entire operation to take out Osama bin Laden was orchestrated with Hillary Clinton. So Hillary Clinton goes off. She sends out SEAL Team 6. They don't tell Obama. They say, Obama, you're going to have to deal with this, because they've been hiding Osama bin Laden in Iran. And apparently, I mean, even CBS News punted a story
Iran
back
knew about it.
And Iran knew about it. They were hiding him there. Back in 2010, CBS News punted a story because they thought it would be harmful to Barack Obama. So it was actually known, but they dropped the ball. So what ends up happening is you have the SEAL Team 6 goes in, Hillary orders the hit, and then Iran sends Osama bin Laden down to that hideout where he was supposedly hiding, but then they switch him out last minute. They switch him out last minute.
Yes.
SEAL Team 6 goes in there, and they kill the decoy. And now they go up in the air. They finish their mission, but now they all know that they didn't kill Osama bin Laden. But America, everyone's celebrating in front of the White House that very moment. So now you've got a serious problem on your hands. And Iran says, guess what? We're going to tell the world that you lied to your people unless you send us the money. Is that basically what we're talking about in a nutshell here?
In a nutshell, that's exactly what happened. And the implications of this, the administration in cohorts with Iran protecting bin Laden. And I have to say, I just heard the audio clip this morning of a congressman. He will be named. I won't name his name right now. Who is not a good guy, who is on these audio tapes with Allen, talking about, well, let's hold off killing Osama bin Laden until the time is right, so we can use him as a trophy. The word trophy wasn't used.
You heard a congressman say that.
Yes, I did. I heard it. I don't have the file. They have it. It's being released. It's given to the congressman last night. Media has it as well. They're hopefully soon they'll release it. But I heard this. I heard that on the audio that they said, hold Osama until we're ready. And then what happened was Iran, last second, like you were saying, last minute, decided to take Osama out. And so there was a decoy, a double, whatever it was. When the SEAL Team 6 team came in to kill Osama, they had direct orders not to take the body back home. You saw with Saddam Hussein, it was all over the place. His pictures were everywhere. They took the body, they did a DNA test, confirmed it was Saddam Hussein. But with bin Laden, it was never happened. It never happened. They told them to basically throw his body parts over the mountains, which in the news media, they said it wasn't, they dropped his body in the water, which by the way is haram, which Allen explains, having lived in the Middle East over 20 years. He said, that's haram. When you bury a Muslim, you bury them in the ground and their head faces Mecca. There is no way that they would ever, as a Muslim, and John Brennan, being director of the CIA, would know that because he's Muslim himself. He would know not to ask them to drop it off over the mountains. So the Navy, the SEAL Team 6 knew what was going on, and I'm sure they knew they were in big trouble. And obviously they were all slaughtered and all left to die by this not this administration, by Obama administration. And what happened, like you said, Iran on audio tapes, it's going to come out, of making deals with the Obama administration and Joe Biden's administration, saying, if you do not send us $152 billion, we will release this information and you will not get reelected. So what did Obama do?
You mentioned that money, but I also heard Perot say there was $2 billion that was also earmarked. So I don't mean to interrupt you, but please continue.
No, that's exactly what I was going to get to. Exactly. So there was $2 billion in cash that was sent from America to Iran. That $2 billion on audio is recorded. I haven't heard it, but I know we have it. Is that the administration said that $2 billion cash is going to go back to the Americans, back to the politicians in order to keep their mouth shut. So they sent, $150 billion, but $2 billion in cash so it can come back and take care of the people who are keeping this massive treasonous secret.
So, okay, so $2 billion gets redirected of that $153 billion, gets redirected back to the United States. I can only assume that some of the people on that phone call were recipients of that dirty money, perhaps that congressman, perhaps John Brennan, Hillary Clinton. What are your thoughts?
That's right. And actually, there's also a lot of documents that points Clinton Foundation with terrorism in the Middle East, and also McCain's foundation also implicated. This is explosive. And once the congressman is going to go through this evidence, there's a plethora of it. Once he realizes that this is legitimate, that this intel is coming from a source who is credible, not only that, Gary, but there are other operatives who have confirmed this information, specifically to Charles Woods, which I'm sure the congressman will speak to as well. So the implications of this is treason. Hang them. I'm sorry, I'm a Christian, but you are a treasonous traitor. Gallows, hang on the own gallows that you have set for us, our Americans. This is you in America. We protect our military men. We protect them. We don't let them die. We don't call off search and rescues. We don't call off CCO missions to rescue them out of Benghazi. This is absolutely disgusting. And I have a feeling that the mainstream media is not going to want to cover this, but they're going to have no choice because this information is already viral. That's why we released it last night. It went viral. The American people want to know what's going on, what has happened under our noses, how much were we lied to. We want to know the truth. It's time to know the truth. And Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration have known that there is a chance that this will come out. There is a hot chance this will come out. And that is why they never wanted President Trump to win. He wasn't supposed to win, according to them. They were trying to steal it from him. That's why they're trying to impeach him. That's why they're doing anything, even crashing an economy with a pandemic, COVID, to make sure that he doesn't get reelected. He will get reelected in Jesus' name. And when these documents do come out, when the congressman asks to hold hearings, subpoenas will come out. I'm ready. I don't know if you got your popcorn ready, Gary, but I got my popcorn ready for justice in this country. This 2020 has been crazy, but hopefully it's full of justice.
And I want to look at your Twitter here. You say a member of Congress received a majority of the documents last night. You also said a well-respected general that you all know and love said everything that came out is spot on. So you have a high-ranking general who's confirmed all of this already.
Yes, this high-ranking general confirmed it with Charles Woods. He spoke to Charles Woods this morning and said everything that you have released is spot on. This general is going to be named, I'm not going to mention his name, but a lot of people know who he is. He's very well loved. So spot on. Hopefully this is the October surprise people have been rumoring about for years, but this is it, Gary. This is it. And that's why I want to ask everyone that's watching right now to share this information with anyone that you can, your liberal friends, your lefty friends. Let them have a moment to break this down in their minds before it explodes on them on national television. And I hope it does. I don't see how they can get away from this, Gary. There's, first of all, I have to say, with the amount of audios that I have heard, they can't have any excuses. There is no justification for what was caught on audio, pictures, documents that John Brennan signed. There's too much information for them to deny that this happened, way too much. So I don't think it's a surprise that Kamala Harris pushed, getting rid of nooses and for treason after the Justice Smollett case. I don't think it's a coincidence that all happened. We're about to have the most insane revelation of American history treason, the biggest that we've ever experienced in this country.
Now, what do we know about the whistleblower himself and how he got the information, his role in it all? I understand that he was actually a falconer. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, how cool is this, Gary? He was a falcon trainer. I mean, who does that? He's a falcon trainer. I can't tell you much about him, but I will say this. He has been working in the Middle East for over 20 years, has very high level connections in the Middle East, and as you could tell by watching his video, he looks like a wizard. But you know, he has to blend in. So he's very credible. The Obama administration know very, very well who he is. They're very familiar with him. Now, these recordings were literally recorded by Allen. Some of them were not, but most of them were phone calls, conversations, documents that he was privy to because he's working in the Middle East, and he has a lot of this information for a long time. But I will say the phone calls that I have heard, the majority of them are Allen on the phone with these congressmen and very high intelligence agencies.
So some more background, Anna. Perot said that a double agent provided DNA to a CIA station chief that it was bin Laden in Abbottabad, and then they sent in SEAL Team 6, and they only told Obama about SEAL Team 6, the kill mission, after it was over, and then the radar was put back up so that they could not go back. It was a one-way trip, he said, and he says, we have witnesses who say that Hillary and Panetta were threatening Obama that if he didn't go along with the kill mission, that they would go to the press and he would not survive politically. That is when they pulled him off the golf course after it was over. The architects that he states, the whistleblower states, were Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, and Leon Panetta. SEAL Team 6 killed Osama's double, or a decoy, based on one of the wives who screamed that is why they didn't save the body. They threw the body parts over the mountains, and John Brennan told everybody to lie. So
that's right.
This is huge.
It is. It's insane. And
Okay.
I want to have one little correction there about.
Okay, I'm going to stop what I'm doing to get the link to drop it into the chat so that I can start it back up again. Wait until the end of the videos, people. If you want one, then and I think somebody wanted a different one as well. Something about Norway. That's not Norway. That's Canada. So if it's got to be this guy you got to be talking about. So
When Obama found out, from what I have heard, what they have told me, and what is in the interview as well, Allen said that well, actually, this is in the interview. They told me privately that this is. Obama found out when it was too late for him to say no. The SEAL Team 6 were already on their way when Obama found out, and Clinton wanted this raid done, and apparently they had a feeling that Obama was going to say no to it for some reason, and there's some kind of blackmail there. I don't know if that's going to come out, but they sent these guys out from the Department of State, sent them out, and they told Obama later, while it was already too late to say no, and everything else he said was correct.
So Obama was briefed after the mission had already begun. But what's really bizarre is that Hillary called this mission. She's the one who was the architect of this mission with Brennan. But last minute, the Iranians double-crossed and they pulled Osama out, which then created a massive problem for them, because now you have SEAL Team 6. Everyone's celebrating, like I said before, in front of the White House, that Osama bin Laden's been killed. And now the Iranians go, guess what? Pay up. Pay up. I mean, who knows, like, to the extent of the architecture of this entire operation, maybe that was the plan all along, so that they could get billions of dollars funneled back into the United States. I don't know. I'm just drawing out these different conclusions that could potentially be on the mark.
It's a good question. I don't know if they wanted to, if they necessarily didn't want Osama to be there, but he was being heavily protected for a long time. We knew where he was. The point is that Obama used him as a trophy kill to get reelected, and they were sitting on intelligence. They could have grabbed him anytime they wanted. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't know that he's not there and that he wasn't there when they got there. So it's a good question. I don't know if we're ever going to find out that information, but it will leave it to the American people to decide what really happened.
I'm going to pull up your Twitter account again here, and you said you've got thousands and thousands of people. Oh, you also were a contestant on Survivor. I remember that. That's a really unique story there. So Okay, so I want people to make sure they go to your YouTube channel as well to get this entire. I mean, I started watching this, as you can see on the screen here. This is the Benghazi betrayal, Charles Woods and Nick No at AmFest USA. Now, this is the article I find to be very interesting. CBS News, 60 Minutes, spiked story on Osama bin Laden in Iran. The White House feared the story could have negative impact for the Obama reelection. So this is, I mean, this was already known. People knew that he was hiding out there and he was being protected.
Sorry, my computer chargers. My computer's about to die. I missed that last question.
Well, I was just bringing up the point here from CBS News, 60 Minutes,
Yes.
and this was already known, but now we have a major whistleblower coming forward. I know your computer's about to die, so I don't want to lose you. But Anna, thank you for taking the time to come on with me today and to break this news. We're going to continue to follow this story. Any final thoughts before your computer dies?
Final thoughts are this: pray for these people. Pray for Alan Perot. Pray for Nick No. Pray for Charles Woods. Pray for these men and pray for our congressman that has these documents. Pray for the media to release it. Pray for this to go absolutely viral. It is already viral, and we don't even have all the documents out yet publicly. It will be slow drops. We will see little by little what has happened. And I'm telling you, it's going to explode everyone's mind, especially, I should say, including the Democrats. I know I have a feeling they're going to try to say this is fake news, but they cannot deny the voices they will hear. They cannot deny the documents that are going to come out. Again, they never thought that Trump would have won, and they never thought or thinking that these documents would ever come out. Pray for Alan's safety. He is out there in the Middle East. So again, he's just sorry. He is ready to be transported to a different area. I'll just say that, but just keep him in prayer. Okay.
Anna, thank you so much. We certainly will do that. Lift all of them up in prayer so they can be protected. But this is tremendous information, and I cannot wait to hear the actual recordings as they go viral. It's going to be very difficult for the left to dispute these things, for Brennan and Hillary and whoever this congressman is. I'm anxious to find out who exactly this congressman is who was working with Brennan and Hillary. So you can keep that to yourself for now. I'm sure it will be breaking soon. Anna, thank you so much once again.
God bless everyone. God bless America. Justice is coming in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen to that. We'll leave it right there,
care.
folks. Comment below. Get this viral. Send this all across the web right now. Do your part. And let's hold the criminals who have been destroying this country. Hold them accountable. Remember, I want you guys all to remember this. This is not about Republicans versus Democrats. We're talking about treasonous traitors in our country. When you become a traitor, when you commit treason, it doesn't matter what party you're in. Okay? That has to be very clearly said. So I don't care if you're left or you're right, if you're pro-Trump or you're not, whatever. When you go against this country and you put our servicemen in harm's way for whatever reason, there must be justice, and it must be swift. Thankfully, we now know that this information is in the hands of a high-profile congressman. It's in his hands. We pray he works swiftly to bring this justice that we in this country need to clean out the corruption. That's what this is about. It's about cleaning out the corruption. It's about draining the swamp so that we can have this country in its purest form as our founders intended. We got to cut those tumors out, friends. And this whistleblower drop is the first step. We cover a lot of news here. There's always something, it feels like there's always something breaking. There's something that's always going to be the final nail in the coffin, right? I don't want to oversell this, but from the people I've spoken to, the people who heard the audio recordings, it's undisputed just how damning this is for Brennan, Hillary, Obama, all of them. So share this video across all your platforms, comment below, and we'll see you at the next report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi. Thank you for watching.
I'm voting blue for my daughter. Is that all you care about? Whether she can have an abortion? What about the rest of her life? Don't you care if she can walk across the college campus at night without clutching her keys in fear? Or if she can enjoy her favorite band's concert without the looming threat of an attack? What about when she's jogging down the street, training for her first marathon? Don't you want her to feel safe, not constantly looking over her shoulder? It's not just about one choice. It's about all of them. It's about protecting her right to live and live her life fearlessly. Educate your daughters about birth control, sure, but also teach her how to defend herself. Teach her to be strong, smart, and independent. Show her how to stand up against those who wish her harm. Vote for secure borders so she can grow up in a country where she's safe at school, at the mall, on the subway, and in her own neighborhood. Vote for a leader who understands that her right to safety is just as important as any other right. This isn't just about one issue. It's about ensuring that she can chase her dreams, travel the world, and live her life without fear. Because that's what it means to truly care about your daughter's future. Vote for a future where she can be free and safe. And for the record, Trump's not going to take away your right to choose. I'm voting blue for my daughter. Is that all you care about? Whether she can have an abortion?
This is for you iPhone users. Saw what he did, right? Steel wool. Very simple. Great test. Regular steel wool. Well, okay, so he's got just basic steel wool. He's making the circle or the square. It's more of a square than a circle. And he's putting his phone in the middle of it. This is an iPhone, guys. iPhones are the only ones that did this. Now, what I want you to think about is, what is the iPhone doing to your head during this period of time? Yeah, strange, huh? Yeah. All right. Insurrection Barbie says the city found out 5 weeks ago that violent gangs were taking over complexes in Aurora, Colorado. They did nothing because of how it looked politically. Here we go.
Sure, it's certainly not the whole city. Right. So I want to be clear about that. I would say geographically it is sort of isolated to one area right now, but this is a large area. Aurora is a huge city. So when we talk about isolation, this is still very much a large portion of the city. And if this is not addressed, it will continue to spread.
I know you've been very vocal about this for a while now. When did you first know that these problems were going on in the community?
I first realized about the actual gang takeovers in these apartment complexes about 5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think maybe people weren't willing to listen initially? Because it does feel like you've got a lot of frustrations in terms of why it took 4 or 5 weeks for people to start to listen, especially once people saw that video.
Right. I think it comes down to, public image. And then I think, politics is very much at play here. But once I, met some folks like the Romeros and some others that I have helped get out of there, these are real human beings on the other side of these doors. And for me, this is not about politics. We have got to get these people out and we have got to address this gang.
We got to get these people out. We got to address it. Yep. Here's a fella for you.
Why do liberals, white and black, take offense when they see a black conservative? I'm here in New York City. I was set up in front of Trump Tower on 5th Avenue. I had a small setup MAGA hats and a couple of T-shirts and flags. A white lady, a Karen, comes up. She starts arguing with me, calling me names, calling me an Oreo and Uncle Tom, and that I'm not a black man. Then she leaves. She comes back 10 minutes later, walks by me, calls me a loser, grabs one of my Trump flags and runs down the block. I proceeded to chase her. I chased her down, grabbed the flag out of her hand, and then she started to act hysterical. She was like, "Oh, you touched me. You grabbed my underwear. I'm going to tell the police." Luckily, the police were right across the street at Trump Tower. They saw everything, and 2 other women that were on my side of the street saw everything as well. And the other 2 women were Trump supporters. But this lady, a Karen, they can't stand to see a black conservative. Neither can black Democrats. Why is that? Do they not like freedom? Do they not like freedom of choice, freedom of expression for everyone to do what they want? Do they not like America? I don't get this. Why do they take offense when they see a black conservative? What triggers them about a black conservative? White people and black people. What triggers them about a black conservative? I want to know. Please comment. This has happened to my other friends. Karen will do this. They'll run up, grab a flag, grab a shirt, run down the block, and then when you chase them down and grab it back, they start to act hysterical and say, "You touched me. You touched my underwear. You touched my butt," and they're completely lying. They're trying to get you in trouble. But this has happened to me and a couple of my other friends that sell Trump merchandise. Please leave a comment in the comment section, guys. God bless and keep the faith.
Yeah. Hang on. Incomings. Okay. Okay. All right. Ben Berkwam. Here we go.
We're finding Democrats for Trump.
Well, I'm a former Democrat. No longer a Democrat. I went to the Marines when I got back. You just see the world differently. Basically, you're raised thinking that the world is one way as a Democrat. You want to help all these people. You want to do but then you realize that you're not the party that's helping people. You're actually the party that's keeping people down. And so, let freedom ring. And totally love watching you, man. Like you at the border, I swear to God, I must have shown so many people some of your videos down there. And it's just great to have somebody who actually goes down there, talks to people, tries to show us what's really going on, giving us visual proof and evidence. And instead of just giving us lies, which we get from the legacy media all the time. So really appreciate your voice out there, man. Really do. I'm actually like 100% just like a little giddy that I got you in front of me. So it's very cool, man.
It's honor's mine, brother.
No, it is literally all mine. But but you're a sweet guy, man. And I know a little bit about your history and stuff. You're very candid about yourself. And I think that is such a superpower, man. It's such a strength because there's so many people out there that I know watch you and get stronger from it. And they also just want to live in a world of peace, literally. But this is not that. So, yeah, man, I'm total supporter, 100%. Another fist bump. My name's Peter Duffin, man. And it's
Peter Duffin.
Yeah, pleasure is mine.
Honor, baby. From Southside Irish Chicago. Yep. God bless you. And then we got these commies over here.
All right. Are you with them too?
Hey man, I'm here. It's America. I'm here because it's America. No one's a racist. They're allowed to. No one's a racist. You call him a racist? Yeah, he's not a
I got you, bro. I got you.
Somebody's grabbing my butt. I'm not saying it's anything. Hey, it's a girl. See, here's the problem. You guys can't stand and talk to somebody.
Hey, don't push him, bro. Don't push him. No, he can walk. He can walk.
So long. Hey, here's the problem with you guys. You can't stand and have no That's what we need. Guess what? We woke it. We woke it.
God bless you, brother. So you just said it. These guys are the fascists. So you're coming out here on your own with an American flag.
Dude, I had a doctor appointment. I decided to come up here. You know what I mean? This is the shit they call. What you guys are doing right now, that's freedom. Right?
Yeah.
We have freedom of press in this country. All these people right here marching, right, pushing us back and everything. That's fascism. They're trying to suppress any other opinion that's not their own. That's what's wrong with the country trying to express. My opinion is that we should be able to just sit and have an open discussion with these guys. And the thing is, they won't allow it to happen. The amount of people I've tried to talk to today who tell me to fuck off and call me a fascist, it's unreal. I'm sorry about that. I got you. People got to see this is really what this country's all about. All that shit with the Palestinian flag. These people don't care about us, man.
Hey, what's your name? Chris what?
Eston.
Okay. All right, MAGA from Chicago. What's your name, brother?
My name is Joe Diaz. I'm from Chicago. I'm MAGA. I'm Puerto Rican, born and raised in Chicago, and I'm here just to check out all the Democrats here. It's like one big cult is what it feels like to me.
Is it weird to you that now they're using that word weird?
Yeah.
They're saying JD Vance and President Trump are weird, but then you
Because
look at it.
they do what they do best. They project.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
So they know what they are. They know what people see them as, and they're caught in a corner like a wild animal. They're desperate. They have nothing else to have. They have nothing else but to try to kill Trump and to call everything weird now. When they're the freaking weirdos trying to teach kids all kinds of weird things in the bathrooms.
Yeah, change your gender when you're 4 years old.
Yeah, tampons in the bathroom with Waltz, please. Anyway, but yeah, it's very weird. So I do my part as an American citizen. Yesterday, I handed out over 750 Trump stickers on Wacker in Michigan. I'm doing my part as an American citizen, born and raised in this country. My mom, my dad, they migrated here legally, one from Puerto Rico, one from Greece. So I'm against illegal immigration. So I'm born and raised here in Chicago. If it wasn't for America and legal immigration, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm standing up, basically being here, doing what I can do best as a lone one-man army out here, MAGA. Trump 24.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, I love you, brother.
All right, guys, tell me your names.
Lázaro.
Daniel. And Daniel. What do you guys make of what's happening? You got the DNC happening behind us. They got a wall. They built a wall here. They don't want.
I was saying Trump's wall that I confused it for a Republican convention. You know, I was like, you're in the wrong place.
This wall should be at the border, like how they have it here.
Fix it. And you know what bothers me? That I don't know if you remember the 2020 riots.
Yeah.
They should have done this in the 2020 riots and protect our neighborhoods. My cousin, he had a establishment. His establishment got ruined. They got looted, and 3 people died in our neighborhood in Cicero, Illinois. 3 of our and they're Hispanics. They lost their life due to riot. They were protecting their neighborhoods and they got killed. And it's like for a national convention, for a Democrat national convention, they have all this going on.
Yeah.
You know,
they're protected. We're
they're
not.
protected. We're not. We're never protected. They protect these people here.
Democrats been running this city for 50, 60 years. It needs to be read for a change.
It needs to be read.
We need to change it.
That's what I've been saying. I've been advocating it. I'm a hard supporter of you.
I love it. I love it.
You show people what goes on in the border. You show people what goes on everywhere. So I appreciate it.
It's an honor, man.
Yes.
And you guys, you're from.
We need the real America's voice everywhere.
Yes.
I love it, brother. You're from the Southwest side, you said.
Southwest side, yes.
And then you said you.
I used to live where he lived, but I moved to Indiana because it was just too much for me. Yeah.
You rather go to a red state, which is
yeah.
good.
Actually, I live in Hobart, Indiana, and there's a bunch of Trump supporters. So I feel at home.
God bless you guys, man. I love it. I love it.
Trump,
Hey,
Trump 2024. He needs to
Trump
win.
2024.
I love it. Hey, God bless America, guys. Don't give up, even in Chicago.
Thank you.
Don't believe the fake news media. Don't believe the lies. Everybody stand up.
Thank you. God bless America.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
thank you.
Yep. You know, seen this years ago. How can you see it years ago? It was during the DNC. You lost me. You lost me. Unless you're behind, which is possible. This is insane. The people are being forced to leave. They don't know where to go. Someone wrote an SOS help on the street in the rocks or in rocks. This is happening in Aurora, Colorado. Biden silence, Harris silence. Mainstream media silence. This is coming to your suburb if Trump doesn't win in November. Absolutely insane.
SOS, a message written out in rocks in the middle. Is right. We start tonight at 9 with a dire message for those living at this condemned apartment complex here in Aurora. It says, "Save our souls." You see the letters right there. SOS, a message written out in rocks in the middle of this complex. This is located near Nome Street.
Well, people there have just a few hours left before they'll be forced to leave. Tonight, we're speaking with a family that is impacted and learning more about their situation. Fox 31's Greg Nieto joins us live now with the very latest on their emotional story. Greg.
Yeah, Matt, you know, in the middle of the quad of that building, there's a big sign or flag that reads, "Need more time." Unfortunately, tonight, time is running out.
For many families in Aurora, this is a week of going back to school. For the families of 1568 Nome Street, though, it's the final hours of calling this place home. The city giving these residents until 7 a.m. tomorrow to be out. In the parking lot is where we first meet up with Ethel and her husband.
So where are you going to go?
We don't know.
All right, here we go. Moving on. She nails it. 35 seconds, that's all it takes.
Does it bother you that there's no prominent African Americans in the White House? We have to stop believing in this illusion that because somebody is black, they represent my interests. We learned that lesson via Barack Obama. I mean, he was in the White House for 8 years and didn't do much for the black community. So I'm not interested in the color of people's skin. So I'm interested in what they do and what they accomplish. I'm really interested in your perspective. Yeah. It is an administration that has more white men. I think that we have to stop believing that diversity is the color of people's skin, because that's an illusion that the left has sold, that somehow because somebody matches my skin color, because somebody matches my gender, they have my best interests at heart, and that is completely fallacious.
Yep. I want to play that again.
Bother you that there's no prominent African Americans in the White House? We have to stop believing in this illusion that because somebody is black, they represent my interests. We learned that lesson via Barack Obama. I mean, he was in the White House for 8 years and didn't do much for the black community. So I'm not interested in the color of people's skin. I'm interested in what they do and what they accomplish. I'm really interested in your perspective. Yeah. It is an administration.
Now, understand, she just said, "I'm really interested in your perspective," but she didn't give her a chance to even finish her statement. Okay? Didn't even give her a chance to finish her statement. And then in order to answer the next question, she has to expound upon it in order to get her message across.
I'm really interested in your perspective. Yeah. It is an administration that has more white men. I think that we have to stop believing that diversity is the color of people's skin, because that's an illusion that the left has sold, that somehow because somebody matches my skin color, because somebody matches my gender, they have my best interests at heart, and that is completely fallacious.
Yep. Just because they match my gender, just because they match the color of my skin, doesn't make them any less culpable for what they do. Ryan Garrettson says, outside of Vancouver supervised consumption site, and I believe that this is in Canada, this guy is reducing his harm in public and then just tosses the needle into the street. The media would never show you this.
Full of pride in a world made of steel, made of stone.
There's a reason for the music. You'll get it in a second. There's your drunk uncle at the wedding. That's your drunk uncle at the wedding. How many of you have seen that at a wedding? It's either an aunt or an uncle, generally. Somebody who's sort of really close family, but not all there, right? Yeah. All right, here we go. I'm dead. They should have kept Sleepy Joe. Here we go. This guy gets a little vulgar, so get your ears ready. Here we go.
Today is a sad, sad fucking day because after seeing the Kamala interview, I think we all have come to a conclusion that they would have been better off fucking Sleepy Joe. This was the most preposterous shit. Why is she always laughing? Did somebody tell you a fucking knock-knock joke without us knowing about it? Knock-knock, who's there? These who? These. She kept looking down at the table for notes as she looked up, making the shit so obvious. You read and know. You make the shit more obvious than Sleepy Joe. What is going on here? And ooh, don't ask this motherfucker nothing. Oh my God, he won't answer a damn thing. If the FBI was interrogating him, they won't get a motherfucking thing out of him. They will give up within a matter of minutes. He don't know nothing. He ain't been nothing. He don't know. Answer me this one motherfucking question. Are you black? I kid you not. She literally looks at the interviewer, laughs, and say, next question. Black women of America, if they don't tell you the truth, I don't know what will. This shit was an episode out of Simpsons. They know what's going on. They know the conditions of the country. They know what they have brought. And the fact he gets on camera in this interview and constantly make it seem like the shit isn't going on and that it's all in our heads. It's pure insanity. I got a public school education. I could have did better than this shit. I did 1 year in a community college, and I could have articulated this shit better than her. Fucking Dennis the Menace could have did better than this shit. They should have just kept Sleepy Joe. They should have just kept him. I'll be honest. They should have just kept that motherfucker.
Yep. He is something else, isn't he? Yep. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the link to this one ahead of time because I know it's going to be asked for. Here we go.
Is something about to happen in the UK in the coming months that Prime Minister Rodney and the UK government are expecting? I'm going to show you 3 bits of information that are going to make you question what the fuck is about to happen. Because we have got the budget on the 30th of October, which is going to anger a few people. And just remember, shortly after the Labour government released criminals early from prison, we shortly after had the riots in the UK. Look what I'm about to show you. This is the first bit of information out of 3. An estimated 5,500 offenders are set to be released earlier than planned as jailed rioters are now packing the prison systems out altogether. And many of this 5,500 are going to be released in September and October. Second bit of information, Labour are now planning to release prisoners just serving 20% of their sentence. If you go to prison for 2 years, you're going to serve 4 months. If you went to prison for 20 years for non-violent crime, you'd be out in 4 years. Funny enough, this isn't the most shocking one. This one. British prisoners could soon be housed in Estonian jails. After the record numbers in Wales and England, I mean, what the come from Estonia's ministers of justice saying that they would be happy to rent out prison cells to NATO allies. What the fuck are they got coming up for us? For fuck's sake.
Yeah. And I already dropped the link for that one. So those of you in the UK, you know what to do with it. Do it under a secret posted thing or whatever though. Yeah. It's and congratulations, Janice. I'm at what is it, 2024? So it's 83. So I can't even count how many years it's been now. All right. Before any Venezuelan gangs get any bright idea, they better not mess with Texas because this Texas guy speaks for the majority of gun-toting Americans. Here we go.
Yo, so Venezuelan gang members, that's crazy. Colorado, New York, Chicago, y'all better than us folks in Texas. Do y'all know how long we've been waiting for somebody to come do some shit like that to us? You think you finna pull up to my place of living and demand me to pay you some rent money? Motherfucker, I don't even want to pay my landlord rent money every month. So what make you think I'm finna pay your ass? These dudes dressed up as Amazon delivery drivers, and y'all just gonna open up the door for them. They don't even got the Amazon delivery jacket on. Just a dude in a regular shirt and a construction vest. Hey, come to Texas with that, bro. That's all I'm saying. Come on to Texas with that. Hey, listen, y'all work for Amazon? Guess what? We work for Amazon too. We're gonna deliver some rounds. I mean, honestly, at this point, y'all just got to pick how y'all want to meet Jesus. I mean, there's so many ways you can meet him. We got dogs, we got shotguns, we got ARs, we got pistols. Hell, I know somebody got a rocket out here in Texas. I know for a fact Governor Hot Wheels Greg Abbott will let us let loose on y'all ass.
I know somebody got a rocket somewhere. Oh, Lord. All right, Harry Sisson, you're in for another one. Yep. It's Harry Sisson thinks he has massive breaking news, but the older millennial, as always, has even bigger news. Here we go.
We have some massive breaking news. Donald Trump's nephew, Fred Trump, has come out and endorsed Kamala Harris.
Well, Harry, if Donald Trump's nephew not supporting him is massive breaking news, what would you call Tim Walz's brother not supporting him? In case you were unaware, Tim Walz has a brother named Jeff Walz. And this dude thinks his brother is an idiot. And he thinks the Democrats are fascist pieces of shit. See, Michael here said, have a talk with your brother. He responded, haven't spoke to him in 8 years. I'm 100% opposed to all his ideology. My family wasn't given any notice that he was selected and denied security in the days after. Other people also told him, get on stage with Trump and endorse him. Help save this country. He said, I've thought hard about doing something like that. I'm torn between that and just keeping my family out of it. The stories I could tell. Oh, Jeff, we badly want to hear this. Not the type of character you want making decisions about your future. I can't wait for these stories to come out. Because from what I know about Tim Walz, we don't want him running the country. We don't want him having any part in running the country. But I sure as fuck want to hear these stories from his brother. And I have no doubt that before November 5th, we're going to see this man on stage with President Donald Trump. And hopefully he'll give us an inside peek into who the real Tim Walz is.
Yep. All right. Insurrection Barbie says, honestly, I'm dumbfounded myself that illegal gangs are kicking Americans out of their homes at gunpoint and no one is doing anything about it. Here we go.
Followers, somebody please tell me. Please tell me this isn't freaking true. Please tell me that I'm watching fake news with what I am seeing in Aurora, Colorado. Please tell me that it is not really happening to where Venezuelan gangs are showing up at a place where Americans live, on American soil, telling Americans to get the hell out, and Americans are getting the hell out without a freaking shot fired. Please tell me that Americans are not really surrendering their living quarters to freaking Venezuelan gangs. Am I watching fake news? Please tell me I am.
Yeah, please tell me I am.
Followers.
Yep. All right. Judge Janine.
Mother with a baby. It starts off as a beautiful day in Florida. A young mother with a baby, 4 months old, in a stroller, goes for a walk. She even has a dog with her. And she's walking in this community, and all of a sudden, hell is unleashed on her. An Amazon driver hits her, throws her onto the hood of the car. The baby is thrown out of the stroller. Who knows what happened to the dog? The woman driving the Amazon car was from Venezuela. Okay, she came here illegally. And in 2021, the Biden administration gave her protected status. She leaves the mother in the middle of the road for dead, bleeding from her head, and takes off. The baby, fortunately, was okay, but the Amazon person from Venezuela leaves the scene and within 24 hours is caught. The mother's in the hospital with a fractured skull, a brain bleed, and she's breastfeeding from the hospital, so her husband has to go home and take the milk to the baby. In the end, within 24 hours, the illegal Venezuelan who leaves the baby and mother for dead is out on the streets again. If you're happy with what the Biden administration's been doing, you just go right out there and vote for Kamala.
'60s gym class in America. Let's check it out.
People are shocked at what American high school gym class looked like in the 1960s. This footage is from one of the 4,000 U.S. high schools that followed La Sierra's physical education program that was pushed to be the standard model by JFK.
First off, look how jacked and athletic these kids are. It is mind-blowing when you see videos like this and then snap back into reality and look at the world we're in today. What's interesting about this are the standards they had set for these kids. Check it out.
According to the La Sierra physical education standards that were outlined in their 1966 handbook, the minimum push-ups that a student should be able to do is 16, and they should have at least a 7.5-minute mile run.
16 push-ups for the bare minimum. Most people can't even do 5 push-ups, let alone 16. And then try to get them on a pull-up bar? Forget it. We need this back now. Maybe not as extreme, but we need to start having standards again, because this is unacceptable. Country is getting sloppy, and the kids are getting fatter and weaker. Say it with me. Self-accountability.
Refugees are welcome here. Say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud. Say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
Excuse me.
Touch me. They're not touch me.
Can you remove her? She's sort of standing amongst us videoing this. I know it's not illegal. You know, it's quite.
Say it clear.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said. It wasn't important. I said I remembered what it was like to exercise like that. And then the amount of time that I spent in a sand pit in boot camp down in Paris Island. Yeah, I remember that very well. All right. Illuminati Bot says, why the satanic billionaires are raping and torturing children. Here's a little Laura Logan.
Because one of the things I asked him is I said, I get it, but I don't get it. The children. You got to, I have such a problem with this. You got to explain this one to me. And he said, well, first of all, you're looking at it the wrong way. I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, they don't define children the way you do. They don't define the world the way you do. The choices that you face are not their choices, right? They look at it completely differently. And I said, well, okay, so how do they look at it? And he said, for them, everything is defined by their one fundamental, all-consuming purpose. I said, which is what? He said, to defeat God, right? Because this is the moment. I mean, for them, it's about the real God. The true gods are them and Satan, there, right? And so he said, children are the closest thing on earth to God, because we are created in the image of God. And as you know, from the moment we're created, we haven't had time to be corrupted and to stray. So for them, the younger you are, the closer you are to God, the more pain they can inflict on God. So the more you can make a baby or a small child suffer, the greater your victory over God. And that is the only consideration for them. Outside of that doesn't exist.
Outside of that does not exist. Yeah. All right. Here's this kid.
I promise y'all, I do not see how y'all could just sit there and listen to Kamala talk and talk and talk in circles all day and applaud it like that. She would say things like, well, let me be clear, okay? If Donald Trump wins the election, that means I lose. And if I lose the election, that means Donald Trump has won, okay? Let me be clear. You just said the same thing, that she has no substance in what she's talking about. Jesus Christ, how do you people applaud this? How do y'all listen to it for more than 10 seconds? My nose started bleeding. I had a brain aneurysm. Oh my God. I can't do it. I don't understand it. Let me be clear. When it's cold outside, that means there is no heat. Okay? And if there's no heat, that means it's cold outside. Okay? You people just eat that shit up. Woo! Let me be clear. How do you people do it? I don't understand, man. I just don't understand this shit.
Yeah. You know what? Most of us don't understand it. We really don't. All right. It used to be called 10 Downing Street. Now it's called...
Right, Keir Starmer, you brought this on yourself. So, America has the White House. Moscow has the Kremlin. France has the Elysee Palace. And there are many more grand buildings. You know what the UK has got? It used to be called 10 Downing Street. You know what it's called now? The fucking tool shed. You really shouldn't have played that fucking card, Sakia. My father's a tool maker. The fucking tool shed, you might as well fucking call it the tool shed, because that's what's in it right now. A bunch of fucking tools. Dear oh dear.
Yeah. We'll probably see him arrested sometime in the next week. Hope that doesn't happen, but, yeah. All right. Jason L. Dean sends an important message to the young that are of age to vote. Here we go.
Our cities. I don't know. My dad was in the Air Force. I came from a military family, and we just didn't play that shit. You know what I mean? It's a crazy ass time when the media makes me out to be the asshole for calling out people doing stupid shit. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. I don't think I need to tell you guys that, man. This country is crazy. It's gotten really weird over the last few years. And I will say this, November is a huge month for our country, right? Huge month. And it's not my place to stand up here and tell you who to vote for, who not to vote for. That ain't my business. It ain't my place to tell you that. But what I will say is I see a lot of people out here. I see a lot of younger people out here tonight, teenagers, early 20s, people that can actually vote now. You're of age to vote, right? And I know as a kid, I remember me, I was growing up, I'm like, man, I don't give a damn about voting. I just want to play baseball and hang out with my friends and do shit like that. But I'm telling you, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. And I see a lot of people bitching about the state of the country. They don't like what's going on, that kind of thing. If you don't get out and vote, you got no right to bitch about the outcome of the election, all right? If you want to see some shit change, then get out. It takes 30 minutes out of your day, all right? When people tried to shoot this song down, we stood by it, we still stand by it. Thank you guys so much for standing up for this song for us. It meant the world to us, man. And if you believe in something, I will tell all you guys, man, if you believe in something, you feel like you're on the right side of things and you're doing the right thing, don't let anybody make you feel guilty about it, man. Stand your ground, do your shit, and be who you're going to be. We need a lot of that stuff in our country these days. So I know who I hope wins, and I hope they're jamming this song when my man walks into the White House.
Yeah, Jason Aldean. Yeah. All right, we already saw him. Okay, here's a funny for you. Gotta give you the laughs. Gotta give you the laughs. It says, telling my husband my skin sheds during that time of the month.
Oh my gosh, guys, it's happening early this month. My monthly shed. I know that usually happens for us during the night, but it's happening during the day this time.
Are you a lizard?
Desmond, this happens every month. It's that time of the month. This shed is smooth. Look at that skin. Babe, don't act like you didn't know.
Nobody knows about this.
Women shed every month. Their skin. You knew that.
Chrissy, that is disgusting.
This is part of
Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, how about a little preschool Trump? Because, you know, we need some more laughs, right? We got enough crazy shit going on and enough monotony out there in the world, right? There's nothing wrong with a couple of minutes of laughter. Here we go. Preschool Trump.
Welcome back to another edition of the Preschool Apprentice, okay? Today, the teacher told us all about football, okay? Which, quite frankly, you don't play with your feet. And I thought that was so sad because, you know, they call soccer football too. And that makes sense because you use your little feetsies, okay? But I gotta say, I don't understand why they don't call it handball. And so I asked the teacher, and she said, Donnie, there's already a game called handball, and you use your hands and a ball. And I said, so it's football? And she said, no, it's handball. And I said, well, why don't we use our feet for the football? And she says, someone does, okay? A guy named the kicker, he uses his feet. And I said, okay, so he also uses his hands? And she said, no. And I said, well, why is there only one guy that uses his foot? And why do we call it football? Okay. And she said, you know, I don't really know that. And I said, well, that's kind of really stupid that it's called football. I think we should call it the skin of the pig ball because that's what they make it out of. Pig feet, pig something. I don't know what they call it. We're looking into it, but why they call it football, I don't know. They should call it hand pig ball or pig handball or hand of the ball or pig of the hand or hand of the pig. I don't know. That sounds very, you know, something. I don't know. But I think they should call it something else. Or they should call it that guy is running very hard game or somebody got tackled. I love the tackles. They go boom, boom, and there's a giant pile. I love piles, okay? I think they should call it tackle ball. Tackle ball would be great, okay? But then what if you start a game with fishing poles? Then you can't use tackle, and then you're out of luck, okay?
Hold on a second. Give me a second. Yeah, I'll have to send it to you in an email. I know I have it on the computer somewhere. I just have to find it and then I'll email it to you. So check your email in a couple of minutes. I'll dig that out and send that right over. Let's get the next one going first. Let's see. I might have enough time to do it while this one's playing. All right. Lots of this happening worldwide sky events.
So this thing is showing up everywhere, you guys. Remember, I just showed y'all this was in Minnesota. Look, what? Remember this was in Minnesota the other night? Well, this right here is in Wisconsin. Look at that. Y'all see that? What is going on inside of that bubble? This bubble is talking, y'all. I slowed it down for y'all. Just look at this. Doesn't it look like a giant, right? Eating its own tail? Again, I got to be careful with TikTok. But look at that. Look at that light show, y'all. Oh my goodness. What is going on inside that bubble? Oh my goodness. I tell y'all, man, this is literally the war of the worlds. Do y'all really believe that the government is capable of doing something like this? Or some people saying HARP, Project Bluebeam? Y'all really believe that? I mean, look at this, y'all. That is crazy. It's a whole world inside of there. A lot of y'all keep saying there will be signs in the skies and the sun and the moons and the stars, but a lot of y'all are not even paying attention. A lot of y'all are not even going outside. A lot of y'all are not feeling the shift of energy and frequency and vibration. There is literally something here. And if not something, multiple somethings are here. I be hearing something like grinding over what's called the firmament like almost every week, y'all. Crazy enough, whatever I just showed y'all looks exactly like this thing, this sphere with this dark arc, this dark rainbow around it. But not everybody will see what I'm talking about, and that's okay. I make this content for people who have the eyes and the ears to see what is really going on. So let me know what you guys think about this video. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only, y'all. Entertainment. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
Yeah. Peace in. Peace in. Okay. I like that. I like that. Because we want peace within, right? You know? Yeah. Yeah. I say. Sorry, I'm sitting here going through images to find a particular one to send to Miss Mindersue's fine young man of a husband that he requested. And so I'm looking for it real quick. So just bear with me, folks, while I try to find this. I might be able to get the next one going after I get to the bottom of this. Trying to find it is not easy. Let's just say that. Definitely not easy to find because I have no idea where I put it. So I know it's on my computer somewhere, though, so I just got to give me time to find it. All right, here we go.
When you die, you have choices. You don't know this, but you have choices. When you leave your physical body, it is very typical for you to see yourself standing next to your body with either your loved ones or EMTs or whatever the circumstances are. And you see yourself, and then you'll hear a voice, you'll see the tunnel of light, and the voice will be calling you, or you will hear the voice telepathically telling you to come, you know. Now, as you stand there and you're looking at the tunnel of light, you have a choice. You can go up to this tunnel of light where you'll be with other loved ones that have crossed over, usually, all right? And you'll be put into a system where you are essentially caught in a reincarnational cycle, a loop. Or you can turn around, put the tunnel of light behind you, and what you will see is the entire universe. If you choose to go to the universe instead of the tunnel of light, whatever dimension you came from when you came down here to Earth, okay, we'll keep it all present time and place. Earth, whether it was 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th density, whatever it was, if you choose the universe and you say to yourself, I wish to go home, you will return to that dimension from which you came. So if it's 5, 6, 7, or 8, you will leave here and you will go back to that dimension where I am told you'll be reunited with your soul group. Because we're multidimensional, we're in many places at once. I've never shared this information before.
Wow, interesting. Interesting. Senator John Kennedy, he's got something to say.
Some people don't like President Trump, and I know some people don't like Vice President Harris. But I would remind folks that you're not picking a spouse here or a life partner. You're picking the President of the United States. And that decision, your decision, should be based on the candidates' policies and their records. Some people don't like President Trump, and I know some people don't like Vice President Harris. But I would remind folks that you're not picking a spouse here or a life partner. You're picking the President of the United States. And that decision, your decision, should be based on the candidates' policies and their records. Some people don't like President Trump, and I know
Policies. That's the main thing. That is the key element to any candidate, period, is the policies. And will they enforce those policies and get those policies created? And so far, only one person has shown us that they are capable of doing so in the time that that they're elected. 4 years. They have 4 years to get it done, right? If you go to magapill.com, which I'm going to do real quick here, magapill.com. That's not magapill.com. Oh, megapill.org. I'm sorry, megapill.org. And I'm going to drop this link into the chat. And if somebody could post it over. Oh, dang nabbit. Let me refresh. I'm going to drop this link into the chat so that people can look it up. If somebody can copy that and send it over to the Facebook side, and I will post it as well on the podcast as well. And it is a great source for finding out exactly what Trump did do in his first term. I think that it's important to know those things. Yeah. So, rightful President Trump just said using Elon Musk's X will help him win the election. Here we go.
And I also use X. Elon's a friend of mine. He endorsed me very strongly. He really endorsed me incredibly. He endorses me a lot. He tells people because he understands he's very smart. And he understands that this country is not going to make it if she's put in there. It's going to be a disaster for the world. It's going to be a disaster. And I also use X.
Yep. So he's, so basically him saying that it's a promotion for X, whether X realizes it or not, it's just, yeah. All right. Turning Point UK. Protesters outside of Belmarsh prison demand that two-tier Keir's political prisoners be released. Here we go. This is a few minutes here. So here we go.
Since the Labour government have been in power, I don't consider myself to be an individual or seen as an individual, and I don't feel that I have my human rights. So therefore, I'm going to introduce myself as a far-right hooligan. And here is the statement we've prepared. We are here today to demand that all of Turkey's political prisoners are immediately released. The sentence says that the political prisoner protesters have been given are disproportionate to the crimes. As Stalinist Starmer has decided to sacrifice ordinary working class people to distract from the Marxist authoritarian shambles of the Labour Party. The judiciary is supposed to be separate from the government. However, judges have breached their political neutrality and acted as Keir Starmer's enforcers. denying those involved in the protests who were standing up for the slain children of Southport a fair trial. Do we live in a democracy or dictatorship? Democracies do not have political prisoners. But this Labour government has scapegoated the working class to provide a smokescreen for successive governments' failure to keep the British people safe. The working class are not political pawns. We demand that our political prisoners are released. Not only is the imprisonment of these people potentially illegal for having been branded criminals before being arrested, the law says everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Starmer and Yvette Cooper have also accused them of being racist. Were the British people back in the 30s and 40s racist for criticizing the Nazis? Criticizing the corruption of Islam by Islamists is criticizing a belief system, not a race. By unfairly, blanketly labeling them as far-right racist, Starmer has made every one of the political protesters a target for Islamists inside our prisons. We've all heard horrific accounts of prisons deliberately isolating these working class protesters to make them vulnerable to Islamist gangs. And we have even seen the mainstream media commentators gloating that those branded as far right will be violently attacked inside prison. If any of the political prisoners are killed inside by Islamists, they will have been martyred by Keir Starmer, and we will have justice for them. Not only is imprisonment an unsuitable punishment for the vast majority of those involved in the political protests, but Stalinist Starmer has chosen to release rapists, killers, and violent offenders to make room for his political prisoners. We are essentially jailing people for thought crimes, leaving them vulnerable to attacks in prison, whilst releasing genuine criminal monsters who put all of us at risk on the outside. How is this right? If we saw this happen in Russia, China, or Iran, our political and media class would be up in arms. However, because it's protecting the establishment from genuine criticism, all of the so-called defenders of democracy have their heads buried in the sand. So whilst our political class hides, we are here to stand up for our working class brothers and sisters and demand that they are released. This is Britain, not the Soviet Union.
Exactly.
We are meant to have the rule of law, and we are meant to have equality. Pound shop dictator Starmer must not be allowed to introduce censorship, police terrorism, show trials, and political prisoners. This new political terror and equality should scare people from all political backgrounds, as it sets a perilous precedent for our democracy. And we should all be demanding that the political prisoners be released. We are all fed up, yes, fed up with being gaslit by the police, by the establishment, and by two-tier care. We demand to be respected. We demand freedom of speech. We demand equal rights. Moreover, we demand that political prisoners be released. Release our prisoners!
Release our prisoners! Release our prisoners! Stop two-tier.
Thank you.
Excellent speech.
I never used to pay attention to local elections because I didn't think they matter. Now I pay a lot of attention, and I think that the sheriff's office is probably maybe the most important elected official in communities. What can sheriffs be doing to better their communities? We're standing in front of all of the country's sheriffs. What would you tell them?
So my message to sheriffs is don't be afraid to do what is right. It's probably going to be very hard, but it's worth it. It's worth standing in there and fighting for the people. It is one of the most important positions in the government because a sheriff is the last line of defense for freedom. If they ever either allow it or won't allow it. If they ever come to take your freedom of speech, it'll be sheriffs who will allow it or won't allow it. It's probably going to be sheriffs that are going to have to stand up and tell the FBI, nope, we're not doing that here. Get out of my county. Or the ATF or whatever it is.
I never used to pay attention to local elections because I didn't think they matter. Now I pay a lot of attention, and I think that the sheriff's office is probably maybe the most important elected official in communities. What can sheriffs be doing to better their communities? If you were standing in front of all of the country's sheriffs, what would you tell them?
So my message to sheriffs is don't be afraid to do what is right. It's probably going to be very hard, but it's worth it. It's worth standing in there and fighting for the people. It is one of the most important positions in the government because a sheriff is the last line of defense for freedom. If they ever come to take guns, it'll be your sheriffs that'll either allow it or won't allow it. If they ever come to take your freedom of speech, it'll be sheriffs who will allow it or won't allow it. It's probably going to be sheriffs that are going to have to stand up and tell the FBI, nope, we're not doing that here. Get out of my county. Or the ATF or whatever it is.
I never used to pay attention to local elections.
Say this man, arrested on Spindle Road in Hicksville on Sunday, is a teenager. 18-year-old Weslin Omar Ramirez Castillo of Hicksville was approached by police as he received reports of a suspicious man walking. They found him wearing this mask and noticed a large bulge in his waistband, which they say was this 14-inch knife. Ramirez Castillo was arrested and charged with criminal possession of a weapon. And for the first time in Nassau County, he was charged with Title 90 Mass Transparency Act. The teen was arraigned on Monday.
He's born in Guatemala. He entered the country illegally in 2019 over in Texas. ICE has been notified on this individual. He has loose ties to gang affiliations.
Nassau Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder and County Executive Bruce Blakeman touting the arrest as a win.
And it's another tool in the toolbox for our police department. We averted a crime. Somebody could have been stabbed as a result of this.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah. Breaking, Mexico's government just announced that they will start providing bus rides with police and military escorts to illegal migrants heading to the U.S. border. Border czar Kamala Harris met with Mexican President Andrés Obrador. I wonder if this was part of their plan. The Mexican National Immigration Institute said the buses will leave from the southern cities of Villahermosa and Tapachula. Local, state, and federal law enforcement will provide security for the buses, and meals will be provided during transit. The aim of Mexico's plan is to relieve pressure on their cities with the wave of illegals passing through. From now on, getting to the U.S. border is going to be more comfortable than ever for the millions of illegal migrants who want to make their way over here. Traitors. All right, here's Nunn giving us a piece of her mind.
What I think is going on, this is my summary, but it's not my invention. This is the news, is that the group of globalists, everyone involved in this new reset, global economy, one world order, all of that anywhere and enforcing the jab, the COVID vaccine, which is a pathological weapon to destroy.
Yeah, I can't play her. Yeah, yeah. Leave it to a nun, right? Yeah.
So I'm just with a young girl called Chloe Spearman. She's 22. She's been on the streets, what, 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
Well, tell us about what's been going on for you.
Newcastle Social Services took us off my mum when I was younger and moved us out of the area of Scotland. So then I stayed up there until I was 18, till they reached the limit for the home. And then they said I had to come back to Newcastle because that's where I was from. But then Newcastle Council wouldn't accept me connection anymore. They said I was Scottish. So I ended up staying in a tent behind Deansbury car park. But come in and injected us with liquidized gateway. And I put us in intensive care for 6 months. So I wasn't meant to walk again. I ended up pregnant through it. The baby was disabled. He's been adopted. I thought, because the social services moved us away for safety, that I thought they would have helped us when I come home.
Yeah.
I thought letter after letter, I'm barred from the civic centre. They can't grant me mad, he's there. And every time I ask, if I say to my psychiatrist and that, why does mum, why is she still with him after I did that? And just say she's got Stockholm syndrome. I'm a firstborn, then. All I want is a man. Sorry. Okay. So, if I had not every fucking little Ben that's got a mum and dad, they don't understand how fucking lucky they are, man. I actually sit and look at a wall and if I don't know something, I need to nut it because I've never been taught that thing that I need to know, and it kills us. I feel so low to people. I woke up this morning and said, I'm not good enough for you. You need to wait for me. I said, I'm not good enough.
You feel like you suffer with low self-esteem and low self-worth?
I cut myself to bits 24/7, man, mate.
What drugs have you been using to cope with this trauma?
Valium, cannabis, drink.
Anything just to escape the reality of...
I've been with my court from the beginning of being on the streets. I ended up smoking spice. They gave us a methadone habit for spice. It was 20 mil. I ended up being sick all over myself. Somebody ended up assaulting us because I was asleep. So I went back. I said, I don't need that. I've never touched heroin in my life. They made us ill. So I'm still working with them now because they say because I've been around it all on the outside and it might need to go into a halfway house or something. But they're not. They're just. When's it going to come?
You've had enough of living like this.
I've been sectioned 3 times, mate. I have enough. Often I end up on the bridge of quarters in the next 2 months ago. I literally just sat on the thing, had a space pipe and let myself fall into the river. If someone had notified the police, so they had a net on the bottom of the thing.
You're only a young girl. Your whole life's ahead of you.
I'm not as bad. Last year I was a lot worse. Honestly, I used to ride me out from the route. Yeah, that's only started the last couple of weeks. So I just feel like I'm dragging him doing that because I've been here for so long.
And this is your partner, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you're both struggling on the streets.
No, he's proper institutionalised. He's just been 7 years in jail. Yeah. When as a kid come out, they've not housed him. He doesn't really know what he is.
So do you think you've got a bit of a toxic relationship or a chemical romance or?
No, he's never had a lass as he's been in jail for 7 years. So he has to learn how to be in a relationship. And I think we might help each other. We'll help each other on a night time that we chill out. Attack.
So you feel safe anyway.
Yeah.
With him.
I hardly be selling anyways.
But you just have a bit of, you're having a bit of a tough time at the minute.
Yeah, I got released from prison for mental health support, right?
You kicked off on me, but you first saw me, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got split personality disorder. I just seen the camera and I thought, what?
No, and I understand, and I
also... No, the last time someone did this to us, right, he put us on Facebook and said loads of horrible stuff about us.
No, I won't be doing that.
He says I had me full wardrobe at Temple Station and this and that.
No, well, I'm not about that. I mean, I appreciate your time and I wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just good, honest conversation. How are you struggling? Why are you struggling? What put you in this position? Here we go.
Hey, I need somebody to let Donald Trump know this. When he gets back in office and he starts talking about building a wall, tell him to make sure he don't have to include no Mexico and nothing gonna have to pay for it. Tell him that the American people will probably pay for it. Okay? Ain't no problem with that shit because he had a good ass idea. build a motherfucking wall. At least he ain't in favor of replacing people who look like me, goddammit. So let him know that he ain't got to do all the stuff about Mexico gonna pay for it. No, the American taxpayer gonna give up some of their damn money to pay for it because we know it's the fucking right thing to fucking do. So let him know that. You gonna pay for the motherfucker. You just get in the motherfucking seat and sit there and be ready to serve, which we know you motherfucker ready to do. Trump motherfucking 2024 sending money out Ukraine and all this shit, all that old bullshit, and y'all talk about we gonna pay for that motherfucking wall. Get the message over to Trump.
Yeah, what he said. Only I ain't got no money. I'm broker than broke. I'll give you a puppy. The British police diversity hires are going well. Here we go.
What you saying? What are you doing? Just carry on. Stacy, I have the belief that you may be in possession of drug. What? Yes, I got the belief that you may be in possession of drug. Stop being rude and just listen to him. That's why I want to search you. What's your name first before you search, man? I want to search you under section 23. Yeah, 23, can I have your name, please? Say your phone number, Mike. My phone number is 08387. 08387. Where are you based? I'm Lonside Police Station. And what do you want to do search, man? I have the reason to believe that you may be in possession of drug. What's you saying?
Yeah. I have reason to believe that I can stick something in your pocket and take you to prison. Yep, that's more like what it is. Yeah, Tim calls himself a coach, even though he couldn't officially or be hired as one because of his reckless drunk driving. Walls is also still pushing his Project 2025 hoax and calling American weirdos at the same time he's giving tampons to boys. Yeah, here we go.
Hey everybody, Coach Walls here. Hey, it's back to school time.
Not a coach.
Got your first assignment.
It's assistant
Google
coach.
Project 2025. This is Donald Trump's insane plan of what he wants to do for America.
Yeah, 2025 is yours.
Me, it is crazy. Whether it's banning abortion, whether it's using government to seek revenge on his opponents, or gutting things like Medicare, Department of Education. Look, this stuff nobody's asking for it.
Are you scared, Jim?
Billionaires,
I think you're afraid.
Most extremists, weirdos.
I think you have
are asking for this, but it's not just weird, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to our way of life. It's dangerous to our democracy. So get up to speed on it. Go take a look at this and then get out and do something about it. Help the campaign.
We'll help the Trump campaign. No problem.
These guys never get a chance to implement this plan.
Yeah, we will make sure that you do not get the chance to implement your plan. As a matter of fact, your brother, Jeff, is going to help us. Yeah, just so you know that. Piece of crap. All right. Let's see.
So there's a lot of talk going on about Aurora, Colorado, and the fact that but Venezuelan gangs have taken over hotels or something out there. And one creator posted a video about it, calling on the Hells Angels. And I know that HA is out there. I also know that there's a couple of chapters of the Sons of Silence out there. So, maybe it's time for the local 1%er clubs and other motorcycle clubs to step in and do what the local PD and the sheriff's office can't do. Get out there and take back your town. Take back your AO, and kick them out of where they don't belong, because this is our soil, not theirs. Get out there, take back what's yours, and kick these gangs out where they don't belong or whatever. Because from my understanding, from what I'm reading, it seems the local population is real scared about this. So, maybe it's time for the biker community to get involved to protect their own soil. Just a thought.
Yeah. Just a thought. Well spoken. So DC Drano says Tim Walz was asked his reaction to the 6 executed hostages being found in Gaza, including one American citizen. You know what he said? Oh, let's see. Let's see what he said.
What's your reaction to the 6 hostages being found in Gaza?
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Reaction to
Oh, you got to go so you can wave on some other people. Yeah. Yep. Do you want to play games? Because we're playing to win. What's in your closets?
This is a concerted effort. This is a concerted effort. Politics of personal destruction. Fuck you, John Podesta.
All right, well, you see where I'm coming from.
Okay. Yeah.
When I talk, that's because I'm interested in this ongoing, whatever the hell they're doing.
What's in your closet, John Podesta? Big Podesta? Big Soros? Do you want us to play these games? Because we're playing to win. This is a concerted...
Yeah, we're playing to win. That's the top of the feed, guys. Yep. Actually, let's jump over to the regular feed for a moment. I want to check and see if anybody's posted anything new in regards to the rumors of traffic of 2 wheels being moved towards the Aurora area. Come on, do a refresh. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Don't know. I'll have to go through that later. Let's see here. That's all. I'm just looking for one topic right now. Just looking for one topic. One particular topic. Not going. So currently, there's a police manhunt is underway over signs against illegal immigration in Denver. Police are pursuing hate crime charges. Oh boy. Anybody gonna say anything? Yeah, it looks like I got a bunch of stuff to go through for tomorrow. I'm just looking to see if there was any updates on. Oh dang. You shouldn't be giving your dog chicken bones. Shouldn't be giving your dog chicken bones. That was an old one. Nope, I'm not seeing anything new. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything new in regards to it. So that looks like that'll be it for today. I do want to end with I want to try and find it on. Let's go here, because every once in a while I can be lucky and find it someplace else. No. Well, this is what we're going to do.
The world
getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, baby, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Find your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate. Separate and segregate. Don't celebrate quite yet. The storm is coming, Q, for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate. Instigate and penetrate the values of our country and our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight. Pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on these streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour and troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, but chose to just neglect it. Deflected by some breaking news, oh, we just accept it. Expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objective, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, blind, not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheek. Drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting, and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. Need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. We need you now. We need you now. One day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. Need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
All right, guys. Remember, our Creator, He loves you. His Son, Jesus Christ, He loves you. And I love you. And we will see you guys again. Maybe tonight. Definitely tomorrow. Peace.